ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Rock Show with Connor Farrell. Today, our guests are the Mayas. We're talking about Goose, Geese, the Gander. I don't know. Cue intro. Okay, now that you're back from the intro, people, we have Maya 1 and we have other Maya 1. Now, let's start with Maya Landsberg. Who are you? And what is your love for Goose? And maybe you want to introduce the other Maya. How about just, both of you? Just take it away. Really, come on.
All right, well, I'm Maya Ordonez Landsberg, and I fucking love... Sorry, okay. Immediately right off the bat. I love Goose so much. They're my church. I've met so many amazing people. I've networked. I just feel like I'm a part of music history. Just seeing like the best band in the world play like some of their most iconic shows and just blowing up like in a year, like just growing and improving so much. It's really awesome to see. And yeah, I just love them. So I follow Goose a lot. I follow Goose. And I'm also a philosopher. And I read about communism, and it was a lot. My research was inspired by the cover of Electric Avenue. So that was cool. Okay.
I'm Other Maya. Also very much feeling like we're at the forefront of music right now. Like growing up, I always wanted like my own Dead tour, my own Fish tour, and we never got that. Like this is it. Like this is, and if you're not on board, like you're missing out.
Yeah, no,
I've met so many people. We met each other. I did my first Goose show in September of 2023. Is that what it was? 2022?
Yeah.
What Detroit, my Sonic Temple. And since then I've done 32 shows. I think
that's
pretty
she's
good.
Better than me. I've only done 15 shows.
It's pretty good in 1 year, I think.
Show was just the Masonic Temple in Detroit.
Yeah,
Best
we were at the same first show and didn't even know each other. It was meant to be.
Literally. And so many of our friends were also at that show, and it was like their first show. So it's like crazy.
It all goes back to there.
Yeah, and Jeff and the Cosba.
So the forefront. So how did you guys find out about Goose? When was the first time, like, were you actively looking, like, you're like, okay, the Grateful Dead, like, they're older now, like, is there something like that? How did you, what inspired you to, like, stumble into this?
You should go first.
Okay. I admittedly, like, they kept showing up in my YouTube history or YouTube suggestions, and I was kind of a hater. Like, I went through a period where all I would listen to was the Grateful Dead. And then for some reason, Twiddle was permissible, but nothing else. Like, I would not listen to anything else. And I was like, I don't like this band, like Goose. They're too like indie, whatever, Vampire Weekend. But then all of a sudden, like later, I remember I was on my way back from a Dead and Company show, and they showed up in my YouTube suggestions. I was like, I'm going to give it a shot. And it was this little basic, but it was a video. It was Hunger Site with Trey. And I listened to it on the way back from that show. I was like, holy shit, this is the best thing I've ever heard in my life. And then I became just like absolutely feral and had to see everything and know everything about them, like One Direction fangirl type stuff. And I can't help it.
I literally cannot stop talking about them. Dude, that's so crazy that we keep having so many similarities because like it was all about that Dead and Co summer tour.
Yeah.
Like that was what got me concerts. That one in Burgettstown, Pennsylvania, and I snuck into the pit and it was awesome. And then like 2 weeks later, my friend Josh was like, oh, I'm going to this Goose show. And he didn't end up inviting any of us. So we were like, whatever. And then like I only wanted to listen to the Grateful Dead that whole summer. Like I could only listen to the Grateful Dead. And Josh kept playing Goose and I was so annoyed. I was like, turn this shit. I was like, it's good, but it's not like the Grateful Dead, like play the Grateful Dead. And then my friends were all getting together. We all planned to go to Goose show. We were going to 1 million shows that year, that like semester. So we all drove to Detroit, and it was just the first notes of turbulence. Like my life was changed forever. Like, I mean, unbelievable. We had this it's in a Masonic temple with like a fucking chandelier. And all the lights reflecting off of it. Like it was just like the best. I mean, yeah. And then I went to Gooseness, and that had like more spiritual experiences. That was the first time I felt like they like made me break down crying during like I'm forever blowing bubbles. I was like, what the this is like not, it's like not in my control. It's something else, something different. And the way that I like dance to it, it just makes me feel so in the moment. And I just want to chase it. It's like an unscratchable itch. It's awesome.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's really interesting. So, okay, so it was the YouTube, and then so you said the Dead and Co. tour. What was that? Like, I'm completely ignorant. Like, I have no clue about jam bands. Like, I know the Grateful Dead are a band and they exist,
So it
and
was
I
like
know
this. So it's
there's
like a
another band
couple.
called Fish, and now I heard about Goose like a year ago. This is
Yeah.
my entire knowledge.
That's good. I'm glad that you're branching out your rock podcast to jam because it's like
I
this is
know.
it. These guys shred like rock star. Like they're rock stars. They're like so their energy is insane, especially with the new drummer. Like everybody thought that it was gonna be over because right after Goose Miss, the drummer like got kicked out or quit or they parted ways or whatever. And I actually have the stick from the last show. It's like right there. It's really sick. But yeah, it's probably worth money, but I'm never gonna sell it. People on Reddit always ask me. But basically like we all thought, what's going to happen to Goose, right? And they got this new drummer, and he is just incredible. It's like not even that he's like a better drummer. It's like they're kind of the same skill wise. They play differently, but like he changed the energy of the band. He changed the dynamic of the band. Like when I first saw them at Soulshine, which is the first time I saw them with the new drummer, it was completely different energy. It was immediately just like this is like, oh my god, we're on a fucking spaceship. Like it's just crazy. So new drummer was a huge thing because also like Peter the pianist started shredding too. Like he started getting better at the guitar, so now he's like, and and they turned up Trevor. Like they just did a bunch of stuff that they're like into it again. They love it again. Everyone gives them so much energy, so it's cool.
Yeah, that's crazy. So for the viewer at home, the Mayas, or at least one of the Maya, I don't know if you consulted the other Maya, but one of the Mayas sent me a bunch of like Goose like songs, and they're all like 30 minutes or whatever. I think you sent me like 4,000 of them, so I only got through like 1,000. Anyways, no, so no, I was listening, and like what's interesting is first off the range, right? Like it wasn't just like every song sounded like the same. There's one that was really interesting where my brother and I, it was like major, but it sounded like with the rhythm of the drums and like the bass and kind of like it almost, I don't know if it was an odd time signature or something, but we were kind of like it sounds like a Tool song but major. Like it was just kind of we're like, hey, wait a minute,
It
like
has a lot of
Yeah.
prog, like it's
yeah,
very proggy. Some of it sounds like Rush to me, but not really. It's like groovy
yeah,
Rush. It's structured kind of like a Rush or like a Queen song from the 70s. They're
yeah.
really big on structure. I should have sent you a song SOS. That's like, I feel like that's the epitome of Goose. The song SOS just like is the epitome of what Goose songs are. So I should have sent you that one, but
Yeah.
oh well.
Well, what was interesting? So, was it Peter? Who's the one you were saying started shredding? Was the keyboard player?
So he would play the guitar before, but you could tell that he got significantly better. Like
Yeah,
during the time that they took a break when they were like looking for a new drummer, he was like like he's like completely like shredding.
yeah.
He like, does these guitar duels with a break, and it's really cool.
That must be okay. Because I was in Costco earlier today, and I looked down. I was listening, and it was by the end of like the song or whatever, and it got to the point where I was like, oh, now they're really because what I realized is like I don't know if their approach is like I know when I'm writing songs and like even if there's no solos, you got to think about like how to make something sound big and impressive and awesome and crazy and fast is to make things before it's slower in comparison, right?
Right.
But you have to like do that to such an extent that you're not just making something like so slow or so spaced out that it's not like disengaging. Now in a live setting, you probably do want to like sit back even more. And so it's really interesting. Like I almost was like, are they trying to like pace themselves? Like what's their approach? Because you got to have like because like I guess because then you're else you could end up just like trying to everyone's playing all at once and you're instantly at like 10. Like how do you slowly give and take and then slowly go up and down and then get to a climax?
I feel sorry. I feel like I'm doing a lot of this knocking, but I
Yeah,
asked the drummer, or my friend Ben asked the drummer that question. He like, hey, he would come out and since he just like smoke weed, be like, glad we're back in a rec state. He's awesome, Jeff. He like bangs the gong, and he literally like was just we were like, do you plan songs? Like, how do you it's so well? How do you? And
yeah.
he's like, no, we don't. What we do, the only thing we plan is like transitions. But
Mm.
they don't plan, or at least to what he said, like very lightly, like that they don't necessarily plan. Like they know what songs they're going to play and they know the transitions that they're going to do. And their transitions are super clean. So like one thing I realized is like I was always a kid that loved album transitions growing up. Like I love certain transitions on like Queen albums or whatever. And that's exactly what like they do. Like the way that they transition between songs is just incredibly satisfying. So that's what they do plan, according to Jeff.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think
Well,
too,
what was an interesting thing was I started realizing the pattern that like if it was kind of like slower at the beginning or like it felt like it started speeding up and then they slowed down again, usually I could count on it 20 minutes in out of the 30 minutes they would be like, okay, time to like completely boom unhinge and just go off.
Yeah,
And
I
then
know.
now they're going crazy. And so I look down in like Costco, I'm like, what is happening? They're going crazy. I'm like, God. And so I look down at my phone and I see the keyboardist like instead of him being like, oh, the lead guitarist is kind of going slow and like, keeping everything moody and the synth player's like doing a little bit of stuff, keeping it spacey and vibey. And then you just look down and it's like 5 minutes later, they're both just like shredding. And the other guy's like, screw the synths, I'm just going off.
What was that?
I don't know. It was one of the second or third out of the 4,000. I don't remember. No.
Okay. Maya, do you have anything to add? I think you were going to say something.
yeah,
You know what? Wait. I think I remember. It was Oh my god! There was like a song. I think it said like drift something, and then but it went into the other song.
Was it like slowing down over the edge? I don't know.
Oh, I don't remember. I didn't remember the
Other
lyrics.
songs? Okay, I'll just look at the ones I sent you. It's fine.
No, I'll look at the ones you sent me.
No, Maya, what were you going to say?
I want to
I
hear
was
it.
gonna
Yeah.
say that part of what like makes them just so special, I think, is because like when you like, I mean, I like to be up close, as do you, and like when you can
Yeah,
see
we're
them,
like Railriders.
yeah, which is a
Yeah.
whole other thing that I guess we can talk about. But
Yeah.
we like when you can see them, you can tell how much they really like vibe with each other. And like there's like, I mean, just history between them. A lot of them like have known each other for so long, and like you can tell that they're friends. And like that goes back to what you said too about Jeff saying that all they plan is transitions because they just know each other so well that they don't really need to
Exactly.
plan out too much else. And it's just like that's the magic, especially of being close, is like to see them vibe with each other and grow together too. Even just since Goosemas, they've grown so much.
They really have. It's crazy. And
What's
like,
that been like seeing them grow?
like the best shows they've ever played. Like I looked at my friend Kevin, who's like, I think he's like in his 40s. He literally has been to like 200 plus Goose shows. And I was just like, this is the best you've ever heard them, right? And he's like, oh, like unmistakably. Like, yeah. So
Yeah.
one thing that's cool, Connor, is that in the middle of Friday's show, so we went to them on Thursday in Pittsburgh, and then we went to Cincy for 3 shows. And like at the very end, the SOS song I was talking about, he broke his string and shredded through it like it was insane. And then he came out with a new guitar. They called it Drackle. It is insane.
So
It's just like
good.
it's like my friend had a lot of tone problems with them or some. I don't really understand how the guitar works, but it changed everything. Like you can tell he just like loves playing it, and it changed. Like I honestly can't even listen to the songs without the Drackle now. It is unbelievable. And like he kept it the whole weekend. And then he was like on it for like a day, the day that we didn't have a show, and then he just came back in DC, just like unbelievable to see like that growth in a couple of days. It's just like it's crazy.
Yeah, it's something interesting. Like I know as like a musician and writing and playing, it's like sometimes you just like something happens, and that's something interesting people talk about a lot, especially when like I'm just like rock overall. I like punk. I like metal. I like alternative. I like things that are fast, slow, everything in between. But like I know specifically in like the metal world or whatever, it's like, oh, like you can't even play that live. You sped it up on the recording, like you played it slow and speed it up. And so sometimes, like I actually have something I'm working on right now where we had a song that's really good and we got to the bridge. I know like everything else is like written. I've recorded a demo. It sounds really good, but I'm like, I just want to unhinge and do like the most like shredder, fast guitar solo out of nowhere, just do something crazy and then just land in a completely different like key, but like basically do a key change into the chorus. And the song, by the way, it was Satellite. and they do
Yeah,
like
the Dripfield and the Satellite. Yeah, I knew you loved
yeah.
that Dripfield. Dripfield is an incredible. That's like my plane takeoff song. Like
Oh,
Dripfield. I've done a lot of Dripfields, and the one in DC is like Trackle
So
Dripfield.
good.
yeah. Yeah, dude. It was so what I was saying is sometimes I was sitting there, I was like, holy crap, I like got a take of me playing this thing. I was like, that was I'm like, is this a thing that I can only do right now? Because I just got like I was in the zone. Am I gonna be able to do this live? You know, if I have to play the song a lot, like have to play
Yeah.
this bridge that's like 30 seconds just like
Jazz. Like they just like play together. Like it's just like jazz. It's all
yeah,
improvisation, and they just know each other super well. And like jam bands in general, that's what they do.
yeah,
They know each other up. They sit in. They they like that's it. Just gives off like dead bands, especially like they're not the same as other cover bands because it's more like giving musicians opportunity to jam with each other, like different.
yeah,
It's just like it's so comparable to jazz. It's really cool.
yeah. Yeah, well, they say kind of like blues too, right? It's just
Yeah.
like people go, they just show up, man, and they just start playing, and I know, but like, but literally, like, it's interesting because yeah, I've experienced a lot of the opposite, where I've had a lot of like, anytime I have a band, a rock band together, and I've got a lineup of my band, and we're going and gigging and stuff, I'm like, hey, I love like Frank Zappa, and he'll just have like a 4 minute song, and then every record he'll like have the same song again but live, and it'll just be 12 minutes because there's an 8 minute of just like shredding, and then like the keyboard player takes it for a minute, and then like you know what I mean. Everyone just does the jam band thing, and so I like half the time will be like, hey, I love this song, and it's really good. I'm like, like we have a song, Tell It to Me. Maya one can tell Maya other one. But in that song, when we play it live, I like at doing the end once the song's like over, I'm like, let's shred on this and jam for a while, and I love doing it. But the rest of my band is like, no, I don't want to. Like they're like
Yeah.
uncomfortable to like be exposed, and I'm like, what do you mean? Like just play the same part as the other person. Like I don't know, yeah.
You need a new band that will jam with you.
Yeah.
Well, it's just interesting because I feel like because that's the thing though is like if you just have a 30-minute set. You know what I mean? And you're opening for someone and you only have a 30-minute slot. Do you just jam 30 minutes like Goose does, right?
Yeah.
Or does it make sense to like try and have like a couple 3 minute songs that are really tight and then do like one where you just like 8 minute solo?
Yeah.
8 minutes.
We consider like 5 to 7 minute songs incredibly short.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So that our
Too
perception of like songs now,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
5 to 7 minutes is like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
3 minute Arcadia is a disappointment.
Yeah.
Like it's that kind of thing. So I don't know. Do you have anything to add? But
No,
what
even
does that
like
sound?
last night, I was trying to
Yeah,
listen
I'm getting
to something that
notifications. I'm
wasn't
trying to turn them
Goose,
off.
and I felt like I couldn't queue up songs fast enough because they kept ending so quickly. Like I was like,
Oh,
this
wow.
is useless because I
No,
can't
really.
queue them up fast enough. I need a 30-minute song. It's
Exactly.
like my brain is so set to long songs.
And I feel
Yeah.
like I figure stuff out when I'm listening to them. I feel like whenever I'm in a jam, I'm usually in a jam of some sort, and then I work it out like they do. It's very interesting, but it happens a lot.
So yeah, in the audience, what's kind of your experience when you're listening to them jam? Like, what are you going through?
I'm like there's like no thoughts in my head. Like I'm just completely controlled by the music. It's the most freeing feeling ever, and especially like the excitement when you get like another song, like oh no, they're playing Butter Rum, like oh my god, like we're getting a Butter Rum, we're all hugging each other, we're all hyped up, and we're right there too. We like to watch like their facial expressions and and just like the like hear and feel the instruments like vibrating in like our bones and like it being up front. It makes so much. It just means so much to us, and everybody up front loves them as much as us. Like people in the back, Yeah, exactly.
That's what I was going to say, that when you're in the back, like I still love the music. I love to hear it. I could hear it from outside and be happy. But what kind of sucks is that when you're in the back, you're around people who are like, oh, I don't really know about this band. I'm just trying it out. Someone forced me to come here. And then that kind of brings you out of it a little bit because they're like talking about like their work week last week, and I'm like, are you listening to what they're doing? Like, and they're just completely not there.
Yeah,
So that's why it's so worth it.
Okay, chopping is something that needs overhaul. Because people will come up to the front and like, there was this one guy And I was like, can I join your crew in Cincy? And then during like the quiet part of the song, when they like got quiet, he was like, oh no, turn it up. Come on, guys. Like trying to get us all like get them to turn it up. And we're like, dude, like what? And then he also tried to record me and my friend. He was like, my girlfriend's a bitch. Like, can I record like you and your friend like dancing on each other? So it was just like, yeah, there's just like a lot of, you make a lot of enemies, you make a lot of friends. There's always some people that are going to give you problems about like space or some kind of character that you're going to deal with, I feel like. But it just depends. Cincy was really tense because the shows were like sold out or nearly sold out. And Ohio loves Goose more than any other state. So everyone in Ohio is like a Goose. We're all trying to be in the front. People are all trying to cut in front of each other. Get into a fight. Just talking to us, like it got really tense. It was not like that in DC. It was not like that in any other show. Really,
it was tense. We walked up to. We had a friend that we were meeting, and it was just like me. I was taking up a small amount of space, and I just got like thrown out of there. And I wasn't gonna stay there. And I was first in the line too, but I wasn't gonna stay there.
You were there at 9 in the morning.
Yeah, I literally was there at like 7:30 in the morning, but I wasn't going to stay around people who don't want to be around me. And I think that's the difference between like, if you go to like a heavier show, people will be like, fuck you, I'm staying here. But like, I can't, the energy of where you're standing has to be right. Has to be right. Otherwise I will leave. I can put myself in the back if I need to, if the energy's bad, because
it's a communal experience.
The two of us have looked at each other and been like, I've never felt like anything like this before.
Literally,
we had that moment. But like, the opposite can happen.
On the rail, like we literally, you've been like 25 at that point. This was like my like 11th or something, 10th, and like they were doing something so insane, and we just like looked at each other and we're like, what? Like we never felt like this before. Like what is this? Like, you know what I mean? Like it's just something you can't explain. It's like so. It really is like spiritual. I feel like right now in high school, I feel like I'm like a Jesus freak, but like for Goose. Like I'm constantly like singing Goose songs, talking about Goose. I quoted them today in class. I said, "Time's my only." I was like, "Well, time is our only prison," and like my friends were like, "Oh shit, like that's a cool like line." I was like, "Oh, that's just a Goose lyric," and they like all laugh. But like, I just feel like a Jesus freak because it is like my church, and I just love it so much, and I want everybody else to love it too because it's so good. And no one knows about it. There's some of these songs, Connor, where I'm just like, how are they not on the radio? Like the shorter ones, like they're just such like tying up the loose ends or like Mr. Action. I'm just like, how these are certified hits. Like I can't even believe they're originals. Like I just can't believe they're originals. They're just so good, you know? It's very odd. Especially Thatch, like that song, unbelievable.
There was a time for me where like Factory Fiction, like when I first started listening to Goose, I was like, oh, this is a cover. Like I know this song, this is a cover. And then everyone was like, this is not a cover, like this is Goose. And so I still don't know if I've heard it before or it was like some kind of weird like
it's like
what I was
weird
supposed to find.
Feeling, but like you can't place it. It's just so it makes you feel like the old songs do. That's what it is. Is it like feels like getting like really good new music again somehow.
So. It is crazy because that's a big thing. Like people are like really looking for, and it's like honestly, it's not super easy to find. But once you find it, like it clicks. Like I'd say a good example is if you can see behind me. I have a poster of the band Oingo Boingo, who are like big in the '80s, but they're all their former members except the lead singer. Like do a bunch of reunion shows. Always around Halloween because they have a bunch of like Halloween songs. But we were there like seeing them play. I think like I don't know like October 26th in San Diego here, and there's songs where you forget you're like, oh, that's not a cover. Like it's such a song that you're like I think like, and it doesn't even sound like the rest of their stuff, but like it's just like oh, that's just a really good like iconic song. You're like it's like what you were saying kind of with Factor Fiction where you're kind of like. I feel like I've already heard this like a million times. You're like,
so good.
Is this? It's got to be a cover, but it's not. And then I like looked at my parents who I was there with. I'm like, wait, this isn't a cover, is it? They're like, no, this is them. I was like, I've listened to like all their albums. How do I like not like, remember that? I don't know. It's just crazy with bands like that sometimes. I'd say another thing was a bunch of these other bands from like the 80s opened for them, and then like you're hearing all these songs, you're like, holy cow, like, wait, that's their song, and there's all these songs like these are
Yeah,
all
that you
so
didn't know
famous. You're
was
like,
their
and
song.
no one's like clued in. It's just very interesting. And then like the music scene is different. You were saying like, how are these not on the radio? Right? It's like, well, where is like radio? And it's like, is it radio? Is it Spotify? Is it YouTube algorithm? Like,
I don't know what it is. Like,
like
you know that
that's what you guys were saying. Yeah.
Like, you know that guy that's like an emo kid influencer? He's like, I'm a 5 horseman, or that guy on Reels. Do you know him? You've seen that
No.
guy? You
I
must
think
have.
I have. I think
He's
I have.
awesome. How is he like getting like? Why is he getting
Yeah.
internet popular and not Goose? Like Goose has real songs. He has like TikTok songs.
Maya,
Same.
I saw Goose on Bert Kreischer's podcast.
Was a funny one. That
Yeah.
was so funny. It's funny because Bert Kreischer is like a fan holding them hostage.
Yeah.
And like my favorite part is that Bert Kreischer likes their biggest song, like their like biggest hit. It's like his favorite song. He's like, so ready, it just hits me. And he like explained this whole philosophy where he's like, because it means like you're so ready for life, you're so ready for this. And then like after all that he's like done with this big emotional speech, Rick is just like, yeah, I mean, I wrote it about like a guy like meeting a girl at a bar, like like it's just like it's really funny because but I don't know, I loved that podcast. It was like honestly so cool.
Literally you.
Yeah, well, not me. I actually know that So Ready was about the girl at the bar already, but I mean, So Ready's not my favorite song. I could talk about like Dripfield like that. I love So Ready. I love every fucking one. I love more of their catalog than like any other band I've ever listened to. It's insane.
Me too.
It's like crazy. Like
there's nothing they can play where I'd be upset.
No, not at all. Like they play so many too. They make them so much better than the originals. I can't even listen to the originals.
Yeah, I do think that's a fascinating thing. Like the only person or the like only like artist I've really gotten into where I like get that entirely is Frank Zappa, because he'll do a song like his biggest record, Apostrophe, or like his most commercial. I think it was like 1973 or whatever, something around there. And there's one song on it that's like just doesn't work. It's weird. It's not like not weird in a good way. Just like it's just not gelling, and it's boring, and it's bad. And it's the recording of them in 1976 in Philadelphia, playing it on a live record is my favorite song ever from Frank Zappa. It's the same song, but them playing it live, completely like regelling it with like who's playing what in the new band, and just like you were saying with the drummer in Goose, like completely different, completely re-energized. They took what is the only song that isn't good on the album, it's aggressively bad on the album, is now aggressively the best song live. And I'm just like, how does that like happen? And so it's a funny thing too, because like my brother or my other bandmates, like they'd always be like, oh, well, like this song, it isn't perfect, or like the mixing, or like, well, I want to spend more time on it. I'm like, let's just keep making good stuff. And then like eventually, like once we've got time and a budget and people care about us and like our music, we can go back and like play these live and make them sound really good, and just have live recordings and put that on live albums. Like I'll another example. I had trouble getting into like Slayer and Metallica and like all the thrash metal bands. And there was a Slayer song my friend was like, can we cover this? I think like for something like his birthday party. And I listened to it, and they have their first album, and I'm like, this isn't good at all. All these songs don't click, and they're boring. And then the next record is them playing the exact same entire set list live, and it is insanely good. And it's just like there's one song, and the solo they do is like probably one of my favorite guitar solos of all time. And I'm just like, I hate the original. And it was like the same year. So it's just like, I guess, like, what is that experience like where I guess you're saying, like, no matter what they play live, even if it's a song that, like, you think, like, on the recording, like, I don't like it, but when they play it live, does it, like, transform? Like, how, I guess, what's your relationship with that? And, like, when did you start noticing that?
Yeah, so there's actually, like, a big, like, I think there's a rift within, especially the Goose community, where some of us would be okay if they never dropped another studio album ever. And I think I'm of that camp where like they can keep doing what they're doing and dropping live albums, and I'm totally good with that. But there's other people that are pushing for more studio. And I think just from what I've watched of interviews, I think they say they want to be more of a live band. And it's just so different. I mean, I appreciate I don't know if you do like the studio stuff. Like I like it, but I'm never going to turn
It's
on
just
studio
not the
Goose.
same at all. It's not the same
It's
song.
not the same.
Like
No.
Arcadia and like they sound like completely different. Like you could tell that they got developed when they were like on stage.
Yeah.
And that's why it's like if they're on Spotify, just put that Cincy show, put that Cincy run on Spotify. Like they've done before, you know, they put the other Cincy run on Spotify, they put the other Salt Shed on Spotify, they put the Cap run. Just like that's what they need to be putting on Spotify, especially the Cincy because the sound quality was just so good. But yeah.
Yeah. I don't even want them to like obviously they need breaks. I totally get it. But like people are like, they should take a year off and record an album.
No.
Please no, because what am I going to do with my
Like
time?
they need breaks to like write songs.
Yeah.
But like
Exactly.
don't I mean do whatever you want to do. Like I love to get vinyls from them. I just like they are a live band. I'd rather have their shows on vinyls. And I know that they put some of their shows on vinyls. But like I don't want Trey singing in it. You know, that's my problem with the Trey Goose. Is it's like it's great, but like keep Trey away from the microphone. Because what makes Goose so great is that Rick is an incredible singer, better than Jerry, better than anybody in any jam band, and he can make you feel those lyrics in your soul. It's just, and he just he's perfect now. Like if you listen to some of the older stuff, like 2018, 2019, like he's a little pitchy, you know. Now he is just perfect. He is, I mean, and he's also just iconic. Like he looks like an iconic guitarist. Like he just has that look about him, and he can do this crazy Dr. Evil impression. Have you heard that, Maya?
Yeah.
Like the Dr. Evil impression, dude. Like that's cool. He's just so cool. They're all so cool. They're all such characters. That's the other issue. Is like they're all literally characters. Like Peter's just like Peter, dude. He shaved the mustache. That's like a little bit of a conundrum in the community, right? Well, Peter shaved his mustache.
Why?
I know.
It's almost back.
I mean, no, it's not. I'm sorry, Peter. It's fine.
Peter, I don't know much about you, but you were on Burt Kreischer, and I saw you with the mustache, and then you were shredding.
Yeah.
And it was great. It was great.
And you lost your virginity at like 15 or 16. And he said, really?
Oh.
Peter, you want to know my interaction with Peter? It was so awkward.
Yes.
So like, I initially met him like at summer camp. Like me and my friends were the only ones at their Replo soundcheck. Replo's like their acoustic Goose cover band where it's like just Jeff, Rick, and Peter, and they just like acoustically cover Goose songs. But we were waiting there, and so we saw their sound check, and then Peter came down to meet us, and he was wearing like this Weezer shirt that he always wears. So I was like, oh, what's your favorite Weezer album? And he was like, oh, I don't know all of them. And I was like, well, that's like a poser thing to say, because no Weezer fan would ever like Make Believe or like Okay Human, right? But then he was like, but I had to say Blue. And I was like, okay, that's legit. And then, so now let's fast forward to Cincy. This is so funny. So the buses were like right next to the porta potties.
It's a horrible place to put them.
Exactly. So we were like, maybe we should wait in the porta potties, like unlocked, and then jump out. No, we're not crazy. I'm sorry. I never do that to you, Rick and Peter and Jeff, all of you guys. But I was in the porta potty and I came out and they were like getting out of the van and I was like, oh, like I should probably, I was just kind of like, I'll just meander. And Peter just walks towards me and there's like stairs to go up. So I was just like, oh, I'm just peeing. And he's like, cool. And I was like, great. So then I go to walk up the stairs with him. I'm like, oh, I actually like met you one time before. Like, I like asked you about Weezer. And he was like, oh yeah, at the sound check. And then I was like, okay, like that broke the ice. And then I was just like, okay, cool. Like have a good show. And then that night he wore the Weezer shirt. And like, I feel like I put it in his head. Like,
definitely
there's so many of that, Connor. There's so many stories like that. There's so many like that, bitch. We have so many.
Who are you calling bitch?
Cicada time.
Oh, okay. Cicada? Oh my God, I just forgot about it.
That's
how dare you?
This is a whole thing, but like over summer tour, I did 17 out of the 20 shows. It was like a whole big deal. And then at the night from when I went from Charlotte to Maine, so that's like a 17-hour drive, right? It's a long drive. I had this dream that I started having this dream that I was giving Trevor, the bass player, like this like stuffed cicada. Never seen it before in my life. And it was the cicada summer, right? And I kept having this dream. I had it like 4 more times. And so I made it happen. I ordered one. It came from China. It got lost in the mail. And I hadn't met Trevor, but I met Rick in Iowa, and I gave it to him. I said, "Can you give this to Trevor? Just whatever, I just wanted to make it come true, because I feel like when we bring our dreams into this reality, like we shift the timeline." And I felt it. I felt the timeline shift. But anyways, Trevor put it on the stage, and it's been on the stage every show since. And like every time I die a little bit, because it's just the sweetest thing. But it's just amazing. Like literally, like, oh, but I met Trevor in DC. We both met him together. And I kind of like ran up on him a little bit. I was kind of, I think, a little too much. And I just started like,
fine, dude.
no, I started like going, like I opened with like talking about like shifting like the collective timeline, and he was like, shit, I'm just trying to get my DoorDash. Like, and I was like, really?
He talked to us for like 10 minutes. Like, we had a huge conversation with him, just like talking about like the area, talking about the tour, and he digged us. He took off his sunglasses to talk to us. But what she's not telling you is that, so one of our friends talked to Coach, which is like the stage manager. And he told her that he told Trevor, like, after the first time he put the cicada on there, take it off. It's huge. It's awful. Like,
It's
please
big.
get rid of it. And Trevor was like, no, like, never, like, talk for it. And then they changed, actually recently in the middle of the tour, they changed their stage setup on like pizza boxes. So, and now it's like cooler too. It's like awesome. They did it in the middle of the tour, like that's a crazy like band story. But anyway, when they changed the setup, he was like, okay, now you can get rid of the cicada. And Trevor is like, no. Like, he literally fought for the cicada, dude.
And then I brought it up to him too. I was like, oh, like, I know that like Coach doesn't like it. I know it's big. It takes up the whole stage. And then like Trevor goes, oh, well, he can deal. And I'm like, oh my God. So I feel very seen right now. Watch it be gone at the next show.
Talked for longer than any other member, really. I mean, it was awesome talking to him. He's a really cool guy. And it was just, I mean, he's just such a good bassist. I love dancing. I feel like I have these moments with him, I'm pretty sure, because I'm on the rail half the time. And I'll like point at him, and he'll kind of like turn to me, and I'll just like, I'll be like, like, you can clearly see it. And that was the kind of like, I thought, like, like you kind of have those interactions, like at Cincy, how I threw that frisbee at Rick like over the summer, like, so there's this lady, and it was I threw it on a Sunday show in Ohio, during the song Slow Ready, like when the lights went down. And it was so weird. So it was a Sunday show in Ohio, and this lady comes up in her space real quick. She throws this like tie-dye at him, and then she leaves. And like Rick goes back and sees it. And he's like, and he smiles at me. Like, he just looked right at me and smiles because he thinks I threw it. And I was like, he like literally just looked at me and smiled. And I was just like, like I smiled back because I was like, like whatever, right? And then he broke seconds after that, they broke into the song Slow Ready. It was so weird. Like, I'm sure they had it on the set list, but like it was just such a weird coincidence. I don't know.
It is. And they do like a lot of this. Like, I do feel like they go kind of out of their way to like interact with us and with their like fans, and it's just really, it means a lot.
We just love them. Like, we just love them like so family. Much. We just like are rooting for them, in like a really meaningful way. I was coincidentally in New York at the same time as this Dave Matthews benefit show. They're playing at Madison Square Garden. It's the first time playing at Madison Square Garden. And I got on Cash or Trade. Like, the tickets to the actual thing were so expensive. I was like, there's no way I can go. But on Cash or Trade, I got it for like $80. And I feel like I should send them like a bouquet or something, and just be like, for like the crew and the band, and just be like, we got that show Ohio energy. Like, go get them, guys. I don't know. I feel like I should do that. Like, I just love them so much. And I feel like it's so cool that I get to see them at MSG for the first time, even if it is Dave Matthews. I mean, nothing wrong to Dave Matthews. I don't know. It's not my thing.
Not a Dave Matthews girl.
Yeah, I'm not a Dave girl. I'm a Rick girl.
Yeah.
Same here. Also a Rick girl. No. No. Okay, wait, so what if you had to kill one of them first? Like, you had to kill all of them. Like, what order are you going in?
All right. No, because they're gonna watch this.
Yeah,
okay, then let's not. How about
they're not gonna watch this.
What would you like?
I'm opinion. I have an opinion on it, but I feel like it's mean.
I already know your answer, and you know my answer, so
I
we can leave
know.
it at
Like, we know
that.
who we're going to kill
No,
first.
just don't leave it. Leave it.
Yeah.
Drop it. Okay, I don't even know why you guys brought that up. I don't even know what's wrong with you.
Goose can never break up.
Never break up.
Never break
They
up.
need
Ever.
each
Except
other.
for that one time the drummer left, and then they had a new drummer.
But now it's like better, dude. Like, it's just the vibes
Yeah.
are better. Like, the drummer was just dealing with some of his own stuff, and that's fine. But like,
That's what you get.
you know, it's awesome. It's really cool to see. They're just so different. Like, when I saw them at Scamp, it was just it felt like a completely different band, and it was the best band I'd ever seen in my life. It was unbelievable. And they played Tumble, which is like the best song ever.
So, where did Goose go from here?
What do you mean? They're going to Goose Miss. They're going to Canada. They're going to Austin.
Like,
They're
are
going
they
to
going to
Mexico.
grow bigger? Is that what you're asking?
Well, what do you think's in the future, the next 5-10 years? What do you want to see
funny,
happen?
like that
Like
you bring
about
this
10
up.
years now.
Wait, sorry, you're both talking at the same time.
She goes.
It's funny that you bring this up though, because this is something I've thought about. Because when you think about bands like I was just thinking about like String Cheese recently, and like String Cheese plays like the same size venues that like Goose plays now.
Yeah, exactly.
And like, are they gonna stay this size forever? If they do,
I can get Rail.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to say that, but like,
I don't want any girls making any edits about Rick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That would break my heart.
And honestly, when you think about like Fish and the Dead, like they didn't get like as massive until like towards the end. So I don't know. I mean, I think they could stay this size forever, and I wouldn't be mad about it. But I also want them to feel fulfilled and have all the money that they want. So we'll see.
That's the thing, is I want them to be as successful as they deserve, because they're truly the best band in the world right now.
Yeah.
But at the same time, but the thing is, like, also my dad was always able to get Rail. Like, I think we still will be the people that are willing to commit, you know?
Yeah.
Like, if they draw on more mainstream people, and also it's just like, it's reasonable. Like, my friend Caleb came to his first Goose show was in Cleveland, and he said, like, it's interesting because he's never heard of Goose, but then he's there with so many people, and all, like, they would devote their lives to Goose. Like, he talked to most of the people that were just like, if I could put my job right now and follow these guys, I would. Like, and he told me that he thought they were better than the Dead. He was like, well, I love the Dead, but like these guys are like groovy, and they're like, and the songs are just like, you know. It's less like, it's more modern. I mean, it's really cool. And they do some awesome covers. Like, it's so sick.
So I guess, so, well, then Maya,
I hope they get big because I love them and they deserve it. I mean, they write the best songs all the time.
Well, I guess let's start with something easy. More studio records, a mix of studio and live, more live records, like what?
More live records.
More live, for
Only
sure.
live records.
Do you like them having people sit in? Like, is that interesting? Is there anyone you want to see?
Keep them away from the microphone.
Yes.
I'm not a fan of people sitting in and singing. I'm a fan of people sitting in and playing guitar. That is awesome to see. Like,
Question. What if it's John Mayer?
Oh, get his country voice away from Goose. Never.
Yeah, he can stay away.
He can tread like a motherfucker next to Rick. They can get into a huge battle. But keep him away. Rick's voice is just so pure. It's the most beautiful thing I've ever heard. Can they just Trey? Come on, man. I'm sorry. Like, they're incredible. And I love sit-ins. I just like want to hear Rick's voice in the sit-in. I'm very like let Rick sing, you know.
Rick and let Rick.
And I mean, Peter's a great singer too. Like, they all have a really good back and forth where they're like singing together. Like, I mean, and their voices sound really good together. Like the way that they experiment with talking back and forth in songs, and just like they all sound great. They're awesome.
I think my big sit-in that I want to see, I'm a big Bon Iver fan. I love Justin Vernon. Justin Vernon. He's a genius. And I know that they love him too. And I would love to see that sit-in. But I don't know. I think so. On the podcast, the Bert Kreischer podcast, they asked Rick like who he would fangirl over, and he said Justin Vernon. And so I think that could definitely happen for sure. But I don't know if they're trying to make it happen and Justin Vernon's too big, but that would be amazing.
I think I got a really cool Julian Lane for launch set. He was so, we both did. Like, he was so, it was just beautiful. Like, he had this really cool jazz guitar, and he just like, It was awesome.
What's
Just random local musicians. I wish, just play with those local musicians. If they like contact me, like, I know so many in California, like in San Diego. Like Mark Fisher is one of the best guitarists
yeah?
there is. I mean, they had him, like that would be insane. Or like even EWB, like they created an entire dead revival culture in Southern California. Like they should. I mean, they could play with so many cool, and that exists everywhere. There's so many incredible, amazing, like more regional or local jam bands. Like Houseplant, for example. I love Houseplant. If we could,
Yeah.
if Taps came out on his the electric mandolin or whatever. That would
Yeah.
be an insane sit-in.
Yeah.
I feel like while it'd be cool to see famous sit-ins like Billy Strings, obviously, and
Yeah.
other people. I mean, they really need to even
Yeah.
at that local jam or that regional jam bands, especially Eggy. Just have Eggy open. I love Eggy.
I
Eggy
know.
sit.
I was hoping for that in Alabama because they sat in right across, or they had their after show right across the street, but there was like no
Yeah,
crossover.
yeah, exactly.
But I would have
So
loved to see that.
Do they have openers? Like, what's the setup for a show? No opener.
no
No, no,
opener. They just
no.
start playing when they want to, and we're dancing for like an hour and a half, and then they stop, and
So
we're all like on the
Man.
floor, like, oh my god, my god, my god, and then they start again, and we're even more blasted into the air than before. Like they just go until the noise curfew shuts us down.
Ooh.
They play
So
in Honda.
what's the usual start time and end time? Like if you say starts at like 4:30 p.m. ends at 4:30 a.m.
If it says starts at 7:30, usually starts like at 8. If it says starts at 8, usually starts 8:15, 8:30. I feel like that's fair.
But how long do they go till?
Until like 11, I feel like.
yeah,
Oh,
depends on the venue. 11,
There's a noise
11:30.
curfew in a lot of cities, which is really
Yeah.
annoying. To
so
play.
they're only are they getting through like 6 songs then if it's a 3 hour like show?
No, dude, they're getting through. Here, hold on.
Yeah.
Let me pull
Let
up
me
some
see.
set lists here.
Are they getting through 2 songs?
No, they're getting through like 14 songs. We get so
Oh, okay.
many songs, especially the last couple of shows. It felt like we had an entire show in the first set and an entire show in the second set. They're
Mm,
unstoppable. They're machines. And they just keep doing
yeah.
new stuff. New stuff. I hear new stuff in the old stuff. I hear new stuff in the new stuff. Like me and my friend, what we like to do is just go through the different recordings and just
Yeah.
like we go through the different recordings of the same song and be like, okay, look what he does here. Look what he does here. And like, we'll skip through like the actual chorus part and we'll just go to the jam and we'll like compare the jams of different, songs. It's really
Bro,
sick. Yeah.
I was doing that a little bit. I was guilty of that. I was like, they would start singing, and I could tell it was the first minute or two, and it was like, okay, this is the verse, chorus. Then I'm like, and let's go 30 seconds. Let's see if they're done with it. And here we go. Now they're jamming.
We should play some Goose on the podcast so people can understand.
No, we're gonna get like taken down.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
It's gonna be banned. So we're gonna clip the whole cicada thing because that was really like beautiful.
Yeah.
That's and so Maya, do you guys have anything else like that? That's like a cool. Okay, you do. What are the coolest goose stories you have? Coolest goose stories.
Well,
I mean, we
I have
can
a lot
talk
of
about even in DC all that crazy stuff that happened, like with the coffee shop.
Oh yeah, like we walked. So they cover this song "Mas que Nada," and the day that we were like really wanting to meet Rick and Trevor, because we had met the rest of the band at that point, it was awesome. I got to talk to Cotter. I got to talk to Jeff for a while. He said he really liked my dancing. He was like, "Oh, you were on the rail, like feeling yourself." Like he was awesome, and they said they got good photos of me. So I'm waiting for Berta to post those. Shout out to Berta Photography. You're the best. You're just the best. I just love you. And what else? Basically, what was the story we were telling?
So we walk into this coffee shop, and we just really wanted to meet them. We really the energy was there.
I just wanted to meet Rick. I had some art that I made him again, and I just wanted.
And I really wanted to meet Trevor. But we walk into this coffee shop, and the song that Maya wanted to hear was immediately started playing.
Más que nada.
And then we place both of our orders, and we obviously have the same name. And then they call, they're like, order for Maya. And I walk over there, and it's for another Maya, spelled the same way. So there were three.
Why there's so many Mayas?
Just weird stuff like that, too.
So we have to tell the story about Pittsburgh. So for the Pittsburgh show, we were in like a literal school dining hall. Like it was in their University of Pittsburgh, like basketball court. So So like they were sound checking and we like heard it. We're like, okay, we're going like, and we ran up because we were getting closer and closer to the music. So we're at the top of their dining hall and there's like a thing there preventing us from like getting in like on the actual stage. But we were hearing it so well and they sound checked two of their best songs like Dripfield and Thatch. I sent you both of those and we were losing it. We were dancing, we were shaking the like thing.
Yeah.
We were like screaming. There's this one part of Thatch that I'm trying to get something started where when because people like like will do things in their songs like in Factory Fiction he's like all the freaks want to come at night and everyone goes woo because we're the freaks, but there's this one part in Thatch that's like really like sexy and he's like is it a little bit fucked, and I want to start a thing where you just scream during that, and I'm like the only one that's been doing it so far, but I screamed like I lost my voice for the rest of the weekend because I screamed so loudly during their sound check. When Rick said that, like, I'm sure he heard it. We were absolutely fucking Farrell in that. And all these students were just walking by us, just like, what the are these guys doing?
They were
And it was just
so
like,
annoyed.
I mean, just so into the music. We got a really good drip show, got a really good thatch. It was just beautiful. And okay, but like the frisbee thing, like, was really cool.
That was so cool.
Like everybody thought he was gonna call me because he was literally like blushing and like being like ooh, and he like showed Peter, he showed everybody, like he was all nervous and like coy. And I had this theory, I didn't have a theory, like I just kept thinking that he was watching me while I was dancing, and I thought I was going crazy, so I like went sober to like a show. I went sober to Cleveland so I could tell if he was actually watching me while I was dancing. Because at Scamp, that was the first time I got on the rail, and I felt like he was looking at me a lot, and I was like, huh. But so I wanted to see if like he actually was, and I brought a frisbee because I think he's really cute, and I just had that idea. I don't know. Well, my friend Barbie actually had that idea, but I drew like all of my cool doodles all over it and stuff, and like I was just like, this is just something cool to give to him. But during that show, like I wasn't sure. What made me throw the frisbee was the fact that show, like I was right in front of him, and I felt like he was looking at me the entire time. Especially during, like I feel like, and if he watches this, and he's like, dude, I play with my eyes closed. Like I know he plays with his eyes closed. That's why I can tell when he's looking at me because it's like, why is Rick's eyes open and like looking at me?
Yeah.
And we just kind of do like a little subtle thing where he's like, like the same thing that Trevor does, but a little less noticeable. But like here he looked at me before he started singing Born. Like it was just really weird. And I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna throw him this frisbee. And I had the perfect shot. Like when the lights went down in the encore, because I knew that part of the song the lights were gonna go down. I threw it right to his feet. Like it landed right there. He went and I like didn't even see what happened. The lady next to me was like, did you not see that he just went and read it? And I was like, what? And then like he put it on the stage and continued the song. And then he like picked it up. He was like looking at the art. The art was really cool. He like was laughing at the number thing. And I'm flipping it around. Like I watched the video. Like he was just like, he was really happy about it. He really liked it. And I don't know if he knew exactly who threw it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Well, whatever. He was acting really like cool about it. But then when I met him, I like told him that I was the one that threw the frisbee. I gave him more art. He was so sweet. It's just like such a normal conversation. I thought I was going to be so nervous, especially with someone like him, who's just like so uncomprehensibly talented and wrote the lyrics to the most intelligent songs like I've ever heard. Like, but he was just such a normal guy. He was so sweet. I felt like so connected to him, and it was really cool. Like he's just a really cool guy, and he like loved the frisbee thing, and it accumulated. So it's sick. I want to make them a poster. If Goose is watching this, I really want to make you guys a poster. I have so many different posters that I made for you guys, so just like hit me up. Okay, cool.
Well, can't you just like
was that a bad story, Connor?
Post it? No, like post it on like Instagram and then tag them and then be like, here you go.
Instagram. The poster?
Yeah, or email them or something.
People to see it before Goose reveals it.
You know, email.
No, I had the email for Eggy. I had the email for other jam bands. But I've talked to Adam Berta about it before. He loved my art. I literally told Rick I'd love to make you guys a poster, So if I ever contacted him, I'd probably do it through like one of those people.
Yeah.
Maybe Naveed's contact as well, but like Naveed, he hasn't gotten back to me. I think he's busy probably with the tour. So
yeah.
I would assume so.
A little bit.
Yeah, what's their schedule like? If we can bring it to other Maya for a moment, I really feel like you've,
yeah, she's
you really need to tell me some of this stuff because she's, she's talked a lot, and I really want to hear from you.
I'm sorry. I had so many stories.
I always get told I talk too much, so she makes me feel a lot better about myself.
We're literally
good.
But today they just dropped Winter Tour today, and it's Milwaukee, Grand Rapids, Canada. I don't really know a lot about Canada, but somewhere in Canada. And so I'm really excited for that. I'm going to do the whole thing. But there's a lot of hate going on right now. I have my eye in the Facebook and like what people are saying. There's a lot of hate and people who are like, why would you go to Wisconsin and Michigan in the middle of the winter? But I love it. I'm here for it. And I think the dedicated people are going to show out. But there's a lot of hate. Like the California people are like, I can't wait in line all day in the Midwest in February, but I can. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm gonna get my passport so I can go to Canada.
Oh,
We're
wow.
gonna do it.
arrived.
Oh, now it shows my whole background.
Mark.
I arrived. Hello,
Now it's
kittens.
better.
Oh, you're so loud. Okay, Mark, talk.
I'm talking.
There you go. There you go. Talk
And-
again.
Talking.
No, Mark, don't change anything on your end. I'm doing it.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
I need everyone
Go-
else is quiet.
Now turn your volume up, like on your headphones.
Yeah, if I do that, the rest of the audio is going to ear rape me.
What are you? Do you not have headphones on?
No, I do.
What audio do you have? You're like, are you watching Minecraft tutorials in the other tab? What are you doing?
What? What are you talking about?
What other audio do you have going on?
No, it's if like anything else audio-wise pops up, I'm going to die.
He sounds fine.
Okay.
Hey.
Well, okay. Well, you can just you can hear us.
Yeah, it's fine. I'll fidget around. I can hear everyone.
Okay. So this is Mark. Welcome to the show, Mark. Mark.
Hey, Mark.
Hey,
Mark, do you have some lights you want to turn on for your face? Your
What?
dark face.
I'm not dark.
There's a light right on your desk. I know because I put it there. Turn it on.
They are
Please.
on. What are you talking
No,
about?
the one that's right here. I know where it is. We're going to be talking about Michigan and Wisconsin or wherever Goose is going to be in the winter. That's crazy. I mean, according to Californians.
Ooh.
Canada.
Get some light on your face. You got a 4K camera. I'm not letting you do this to yourself.
We should also talk about how jam culture in the Midwest is just so much better than it is in
So
California.
much better.
California, the young people kind of suck. It's kind of how
That's
it
what
is.
I've heard. I've never been there, but I heard that I don't want to go there.
Like my parents, when they went to Goose, they were like every single person here is older than like at least 20 years older than the band. Like no one, like very few young people.
Got it.
But out here, there's so many young people that love it, and we're all just traveling together, staying together. It's just so awesome.
What is that culture like? Because you were saying that a lot of the California people in the Facebook group who aren't going to want to come out and stand in line in the winter, and that made me just kind of realize oh, wait a minute. When you're planning a tour, it's not where are the people, it's more where will the people travel to go see you, and it's how much of their fan base. Is it that there's 50% of the people at shows go to every show, and then other 50% is people who live there? What's kind of that dynamic?
I would say, especially when you look at the floor, I would say in front of the stage, the first fourth of the stage, is probably people who traveled there from somewhere else. And then generally the hometown people are in the back. Unless because I live near Chicago, if it's the Chicago show, I'm obviously going to be up there. But I feel like the serious fans will go anywhere. I mean, they went to Europe. They did Europe a year ago. I mean, I'm getting my passport to go to Canada. I mean, I'll go anywhere. I will go anywhere for them.
It won't happen, but we'll
there
try.
are some people who do every single show. And I mean, I wish I could afford that close, but not
It's
off a
my
teacher
goals are,
salary.
all
But
in one
we
time.
try our best.
We just got to see him in every state. Because, do you guys know about El Goose? Is it time to talk about El Goose?
El Goose.
No.
It's stats.
Alg.
They have
El Goose.
stats. And it shows you everything. It shows you the common songs you haven't gotten, the rare songs you have gotten, every state you've been to, it shows you every single possible thing just based on the amount of shows you enter and what shows you enter. It's really cool.
How do I spell El Goose?
It's
Like
it's
L
just
like
lgoose.net.
Spanish.
But also, like, you have to make an account. I could just show you on my phone. I don't know where my phone is, so it's probably
You should not do that. Elgoose.net.
Yeah.
lgoose.net. You have to make an account though. Maybe you can see my.
Did the band make it? Who made the Goose thing?
Yes.
I mean, it's El Goose. I don't know. They're like the Goose Mafia.
See, Mark, you might find this curious. Actually, all of you might find this curious. On November 13th, they played a cover from Devo. They, in fact, covered the song Whip It.
We were there.
We didn't even talk about that. That was like one of the happiest moments of my life. I've been waiting for them. I mean, I know they covered it once, and I was so mad that I missed it. I'm so glad we got it. They fucking killed it.
How was it?
It was awesome. They also did You Spin Me Right Around. Oh, it was so good.
Oh.
I think they were like in an 80s covers. Like they were doing 80s covers. That was kind of like the
whole
theme.
tour has been like 80s covers.
Which is awesome because the only thing, you could like look at my text to Josh, like all of them, I was like, I need Goose to play more 80s songs. I need Goose to play more 80s songs like, after Goose missed. Played like 99 Red Balloons, and they played Jungle, and they played Mirror or whatever. Like it was awesome.
Should we talk about the Railrider culture, or is that are we going to get canceled? Are we going to get canceled for that?
Get canceled. Go.
Well, I don't know if you guys saw. I can't even remember who it was, but there was some band recently that like released a statement where they said like, "Hey, like for those of you who follow us around, like you should give other people a chance at the front. Like we're going to ask you to leave." Did you guys see that?
Wait, when?
Huh.
Not Goose.
Wait,
but,
wait,
like,
wait. What are you talking?
Who was it?
Who posted that? Who's
There
that?
was no one that like we really, I think, would want to like do that for. I think it was. Let me see. But anyways, they were like, "Hey, like we love you guys. Thanks for spending your money to see us everywhere." But like, I don't know. I forgot. Let me see who the band was.
Goose, or is it like the?
No, not Goose. No.
Okay.
No Goose. Like it was like a band. No,
What make
I
them
know.
mad?
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like if they did that, like I would cry. Like, but I can't remember who it was. I'm gonna look. But I mean, there are a lot of people who like.
Could you
say
cry? Wait, could you though for like the show? I think that'd be like that might help get some views. Like, could you cry?
Everybody cries a lot.
Could you?
Everybody cries a lot at Goose,
At Goose,
especially
I
like
know.
during Peggy-O. We were losing it.
Why cry?
Yeah. During dim lights, like Josh looked over and I was sobbing.
Yeah. No,
Mark,
just even in their
Take over. Mark, take over. I'm gonna come and do the
Well,
lighting in your room while you talk.
No. Connor, your audio is way too loud. And
Mark,
also, your light is overexposed.
no, Mark.
So, TK.
Is this
No. I'm gonna come turn your light on.
Connor, get over here. Look at this.
I will. They're talking.
This is fidgeting time.
Talk to the people.
It's
You don't even
hard
know about
because I
this,
can
Mark. Talk to them.
I can barely hear them.
It was the Pretenders, Maya, who did that.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right.
They
Quack,
like asked
quack,
people to
I'm
move
the
out of the
goose.
front.
I hope a Goose never does that because I love dancing up
Look at
there.
my end.
I know.
Connor.
I need to see them, and I need them to see me.
Fine. I was gonna say. You do this. Let me just see what
Yes, I
happens.
agree. That's
You
yeah.
do this.
I mean, I don't really need them to see me more than like I just feel like I bring a certain energy to other
It's
people
way
around.
too bright.
Yes,
Like,
the
I'm
energy
way
at
too
the
bright.
front is like that's what I mean. Like they need to see like everybody going really hard at the front because I feel like it lifts them up.
Yeah, and like it just pisses me off because like Joe and Kevin, like all of us that ride the rail, like we are going hard, and then like Chuck even, and then there's just people just sitting there that are just rich and they're just sitting there.
Yeah.
That made it worse.
No,
Oh
I don't.
my God.
It's the Pretenders. They were like asking people to leave so like other people can get the chance to be at the front.
It's like people have their preferences, and Goose is honestly better when you're not in the front because you see the lights better. I think there's just like a certain, like my dad's a rail rider. It's something about like
Yeah.
you experience the music almost with the musician, where it's like almost like your body's an instrument playing with them and being moved by them.
Yeah. I want to like feed off each other's energy.
Exactly.
Is Rail Rider a romantic thing? It could sound like a position.
Why are you making this
It's a
joke?
very
Connor?
sexual thing.
Why are you making this joke?
I'm not. I've just never heard this phrase before. I don't even know what joke you're
Never
Have you
referring
ever
to.
heard that before?
You've never heard the term rail rider before?
Yeah, it means you're like up on the front rail watching.
Yeah.
No, why now? I'm.
I
From
thought you were in a
context.
band. Did you not have a rail?
No.
Have you been to the clubs we played?
No,
Yeah.
rail
Actually,
either.
wait, we did have like a front stage at a point.
No, we've been on stages where everyone's down lower.
That's
Like
true.
Queen Bees, everyone's down there. When did we have a rail?
At Queen Bees or whatever.
I was
No
about to
rail.
say Whiskey a Go Go, but you didn't play. Ha! That was me.
Yeah, I never played the whiskey.
The whiskey. Yeah, no.
Yeah. Connor, can you turn Maya up?
Which one?
Me? The other Maya was really quiet for me, but then
Yes,
she got
Landsberg.
louder.
I was going to say Maya L, and then I realized that still does not help elaborate.
You can just say Maya O, because that's actually my last name.
I'll do thing 1, thing 2.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
Cute.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Perfect.
We've got Mull and ML.
Yeah.
Mark, do I look good when I do this?
No.
Wait,
Okay. Is this the thumbnail?
we're still going. Mark, what kind
Okay,
of things do you want to talk about?
Okay, recap me on what you guys have gone over so far.
A lot.
Wait, Mark. I have a
Very
question
descriptive.
for you.
Love it. Wonderful.
What do you think of like the Goose songs that you were hearing?
That is hilarious. The first thing that pops up in Spotify when I type in Goose is Goose by Polyphia.
My brother loves Bolivia. He met them.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Could
I
you say
remember-
they're a goat?
You're hilarious.
A goat?
Did we talk about albums? Did we talk about the shows, culture? Because I'm interested what life is like on the road following them around. Like, do you follow them around for like a straight week? Or is it like the occasional like, oh, maybe they're playing here, maybe I'll go see them there?
I did a month over the summer.
Yeah.
Really?
I was gone for a month.
Wow.
And it was amazing. It was amazing, but I mean, it's exactly what you would expect. Like eating the worst possible food and then getting no sleep. And then I think at one point, like a rock fell out of a truck and like broke the car windshield, and we had to go like get it fixed. Like it's just everything you would expect being gone for a month.
Mm-hmm.
And the hardest part was coming back and having to live normal life. Even like right now, like I'm having trouble readjusting after a week.
Yeah, me
But
too.
time is gone. And I mean, we had the best time for the last week. And even this past week, like she wasn't going to come to DC. And I was like, you have to come to DC, get in the car and we're going to go.
Yeah,
And
I
it's
mean,
like,
I would have
pick
well,
people
I
up.
just didn't have a way to get there. You know, me and my best friend Josh and them, I went to Denison for 2 hours. I took my test. TC.
So
It was
did you guys just came back then, right?
Yeah. And then I
And
went
then-
to 2 more shows. I was like gone for the rest of the
Oh my
weekend. I don't know
So
what's wrong
did you
with
come
me.
back from just the week, or was this the month? Or
No,
This
this was just a week.
We
okay,
basically,
okay.
like, there'll be times when we don't like see them, but then if there's a certain group of shows that's in our area or like near each other or whatever, like that's the run that we do.
Yeah. Do you get a motel at all, or do you just sleep in your car?
It's usually Airbnbs.
Airbnbs.
okay.
The sleeping in the car works. I did it.
We need a
So
van.
I work online, but like I have to get online and like be on the camera. So like I can work from anywhere, but like I was like sleeping in the car and then I got up and worked. I mean, I'm blessed to have a very flexible life to be able to do this. But usually Airbnbs, and you can stick extra people in the Airbnbs and just go for it and just do it, because you only regret the shows that you miss.
What do you do for a
That's it.
living if you don't mind us asking?
Me? Oh, I'm a teacher, an online teacher. So it's not anything crazy, but this is what I spend my money on.
Yeah.
And I'm about to be an online teacher and live with her all through Goose.
Yeah, she's moving in.
She literally saved my life. Like, I was so worried about what I was going to do after school. And, like, they just saved me. And we're
I'm
going to
so
move in
excited.
together. We're going to start a Goose cult. It's going to be so cool.
I cleaned your room and everything.
I'm so excited. I got to pack up all. I need to put up my posters up first. I spent like $1 million on frames today. But
see what Goose does for us, like these friendships.
Oh my god.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Goose
but,
That's
like, we have
awesome.
these close, really close relationships with so many people. Like, it's just insane. Like, we have so many friends just like through this like love for Goose. Like,
Yeah,
it's
I assume
really
it's a
good.
very tight knit group of people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially the people that get there early. Like, we're all
Yeah.
the same people
What's
in the same
the
areas.
what's the group chat name?
Well, we have met many different group chats.
Many.
It's usually around planning about shows and like
Oh my god, we
run.
have to talk about Marcus.
Oh my God, Mark is from Germany. He came all the way from Germany for this run.
Oh wow. How long was
And
he out for?
he wants to come for another. He
He's
first
from
saw them in
Canada.
Europe, obviously, but he came out here for the whole week run and did the whole thing with us.
He
It's
should come to
amazing.
Canada, obviously.
Yeah.
Because isn't he like a really like big like like isn't he have a successful career?
I think so. I don't want to ask him, are you successful or not?
The
Marcus.
funniest thing is that most of these people are like the most successful people you'll meet, and they'll give you like
Yeah.
DMT. It's really funny.
That is pretty fun.
You'll be hitting balloons at 8 a.m. with the former GA of Pittsburgh.
Yeah, and it's insane.
Oh my god.
So I've got a couple ideas I'm going to run by you. We do a film in which an hour of it is just the show. Actually, the whole thing's an hour and a half of the show. We call it Goose Go to Ghana. I'm thinking, what do you think about that? Goose Go to Ghana. They go to Africa.
Why Ghana?
Alliteration.
If you don't mind me saying this, Goose is like the whitest shit ever.
Yeah.
Maya, Goose Go
Yeah.
to Germany?
No, I mean, I don't know if I would follow Goose to Europe. I don't know how European Goose fans would be. I'm really in love with the jam culture in America.
I
Maya,
wouldn't go.
work backwards. Pick a country with a G in it. Goose Go to Georgia.
Germany. There. They'd probably do better in
Goose go
Germany.
to, why does it have to be an alliteration?
Guam.
Goose to
Goose
Guam.
go to gonorrhea.
I would go to Guam.
Goose go to Guam.
Goose Go to Guam.
I would
Hey,
go
Goose
there.
Go to Guam. It could-
Not good.
I'm a big fan personally of my Goose Go to Guam segment. I really like. I wrote this whole thing down. This was my big thing for the show today. This is my big segment. I really wanted to get us. So Maya, both. What do we got to do to take Goose to the next level? We're giving him some free ideas right here, free brainstorm session. Also,
I have a million guys. Sowing the Seeds of Love. You have to play "Sowing the Seeds of Love" by Tear for Fears. It is a song that is made to be perfected by Goose. It is it's a jam song with groovy keyboards. It goes to a million different places, and it's a beautiful song that Rick would be able to nail. "Sowing the Seeds of Love," they got to cover it. It's theirs. It's theirs.
There you
We
go.
forgot to tell Rick when we were meeting him, but oh well. I'm telling him now.
now, okay, what lies ahead for the Mayas? You teased a podcast. Is this real?
Yes, we're doing a
Yes.
podcast. It's
Oh, you're doing the Goose Cast.
We're doing the
Well,
Goose Cast. We're
yeah,
gonna live
I decided
together. We're
to
gonna
call it.
start
We're
a
gonna call it
commune.
Goosies.
No, I
Goosies
think
instead of
Goose Cast
Goosies.
sounds better.
Goosies?
No, Goose Cast.
Goose Cast sounds like an old man.
Goosies is cute. I think it's cute. I think they'll like
Goosies
it.
is the way to
Okay,
go.
You gotta make
fair
a
enough.
Goosey Goo.
Fair enough.
No,
Yeah.
Goosey you.
A Goosey
They would
Goosey
have
Goo.
so much fun
You.
on our podcast.
Yeah, we're just gonna we just can go forever, and everybody has a podcast, so why can't we?
Yeah.
You could
We
call
can
it
go
Goose
forever.
Talk.
Everyone was getting
People
sick
love
of
talking
us.
about Goose on the internet, but no one talks about Goose on the internet.
Yeah.
Like, I'll do these live streams about communism, and it'll end up being like about Goose because a bunch of Goose fans joined, and we're just like going at it. So we can like have different people on, and we can like
Can we
be
can go live together on TikTok.
we literally will go. Oh my god, we should do that, and we'll go live together on TikTok, and then we'll also just like interview people like that we know from like the scene, and we'll interview like Adam. You know what I mean? Like we could do all of that.
Yeah,
And
I'm gonna
you-
get like a tiny microphone.
Oh my god, yeah, we go up to people. We're like, what's it like waiting in line?
Yeah.
and you work your way.
Goose show.
Work your way up to Goose.
Yeah.
Well, we already know Goose. They're good friends. We left incredible impressions on them this weekend. So
Yeah.
we know
I'm
Goose.
getting
We're
a
the
dog.
Mayas. We know Goose.
They know the Mayas. They
They
do. We
know
have
the
the
Mayas.
connection.
They know the Mayas, and they're going to continue to get to know the Mayas because we're coming to every show, baby.
Yes.
The Goosies. They're gonna continue to know the Goosey Mayas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I
Mark.
think what could take Goose to the actual level is better social media presence. They should be grinding on that TikTok. I post such good videos of them. I post good memes of them. Other people do as well, but it doesn't get a lot of traction. And like they need to be like posting that kind of stuff. I would love. Oh my god, if I could be like a member of their social media team, I would die. I would be so good at it. Goose, hire me. I'm incredible at social media. Hire me and Maya to be your social media managers.
Okay. I do actually have like a good theory though that like, so I think that like the younger crowd doesn't really like jam because like they don't like the long jams because of like the dopamine receptors, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. They want just like the next thing, like the short form content. They don't like the long jam. And so I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, but that's why it
Well,
applies. Like it
hopefully they
appeals to
keep
old
on
people.
jamming. I want a 30-minute thatch. I want a
Yeah.
40-minute Arcadia. So keep it niche. Keep it niche, guys.
Keep it niche. Like yeah. And it doesn't matter if the crowd is a little older. It's okay.
It'll be us, and we're cute.
Just
So.
us. We're holding it down for the
We'll
under
make more
30
girls,
crowd.
for sure.
What percentage of the crowd would you say, Maya, is under 30?
24. Do you think 25? Maybe like a quarter of the crowd.
I was gonna say 15.
Okay. I wanted to go lower, but I'm not. I'm like not sure. Maybe 15.
I'm not sure because we don't really know a lot about the back, but I would say 15.
That leads me to a question.
I just
Would
love
you
the
say
old people in the back? Like I feel like the young people are usually up front because they like can be.
Would you guys say that, I don't know, jam bands are growing based on that, or
It's an incredible scene right now. It is like all of us in the Midwest, like all of our like big group of friends, we're just going and seeing these different bands, and they are like literally eggy, disco, string.
Yeah.
I mean, string cheese, obviously, pigeons playing ping pong, dogs, Humphreys McGee. These are like some of the coolest musicians. They just groove. They're so fun, and they're so talented, and they play together. They play together at festivals. They have each other. They sit in on each other. It's just like I told Connor before, like jazz culture, and everybody's just like young. It's so nice to see these young musicians creating new songs, playing together. It's like it really is something on the rise, but it's not something that you see like in California a lot, which is odd.
I was talking earlier about like we met a bunch of people, especially at Scamp, that like there's a pipeline from like emo kid Warp Tour to jam band. Like it definitely exists. Like that was my entranceway. I don't know why it happened, but there was a lot of people who did like Warp Tour, emo, screamo, Grateful Dead, like jam band. So I think that is valid. Someone should study that. I don't know how we all got here, but we did. I think even like Cotter like was into like screamo, like metal music, and then got into Goose. So.
Cotter's the draconian meter maid. Hell yeah.
Interesting. Do you think a lot of the older people that are at the shows kind of came from, let's say, like Talking Heads, Grateful Dead era?
Definitely.
What's another example?
A lot of old people
Maybe even Santana.
That don't like fish. And there's a lot of deadheads that don't like fish. And they're all
really?
dudes.
Why not?
Yeah. Because fish is different than the dead in the sense that it's way more, it's like fun. The lyrics, I kind of like to think of it as like adult wiggles. Like Josh says that he can draw it out and make it make sense. But like, it really is just for the jams. Like they play like one chorus or something, and then they get into this insane jam that takes you in a million places, and that's awesome. But what Goose does is have a long, structured song. Like I don't know why they're not considered more pop. It's literally a very long, structured song where they do jam, but they create like intentional spaces for them to jam, and intentional spaces like for them like to go into like a chorus or like a different chorus. There's this one song, Turn Clouds, that goes to like 3 different types of choruses. Like these are like 3-part melody songs that give the artist space to like make the jams in between them and at the end of them. Whereas Fish is just like chorus jam, chorus jam, 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 jam. Like it's just very different. I don't like when people say that they're the same because like Fish created like a genre, sure, and Goose is a part of that genre, but so are all the other bands. So is Eggy, so is literally everyone, right? So
what speaking of on how long the songs are, do you think them having really long songs, like 20-minute songs, it makes it seem like the band is a little less accessible? So if someone wanted to get into Goose, they're like, am I obligated to listen to this full 20-minute song?
Definitely.
Do you want to go?
Yeah, I just had someone, I can't remember where it was. I was talking to someone at a show who was telling me that they were trying to get their friend into Goose. And their friend was like, well, I only have a 10-minute commute to work. I can't listen to a 30-minute song. And then that was that. But there are shorter versions of everything. And like what I'll do is I'll start it and then I'll like pick it back up later when I get back in the car. Like it's the soundtrack of my day. But it definitely is less accessible. And it kind of goes back to what I said too about people's like dopamine and wanting like the next thing and not really being able to lock in to like the meditative state. Especially young people. But I mean, I think you have to be naturally inclined to want that to be able to get into it. And so there is a barrier, I think, to jam.
I mean, I think that Goose saved my dopamine levels. And I think that the reason that young people can't get into them is because they're not going to the shows. They're listening, right? It's harder. So I took my friends that like only listen to rap. They've never listened to jam music before. I took them to Goose, right?
Get out of there.
They thought the songs went by like, they were like, that was 20 minutes. Like they couldn't even tell that time was passing. They don't feel like that in the moment. Yeah. And everybody that goes to a Goose show has the best time of their life. I haven't observed one outsider that I brought not just think that they're like the best thing ever. So it's hard to get into them when you're listening to them. I didn't get into them by listening to them. I got into them by going and being like, oh my God, these are the best things I've ever heard. And I like, it just changes your perception of sound. I think one thing that's cool about Goose is like, I, as a deadhead, never liked Fish. I hated Fish. My dad loves Fish. I hated Fish. I got into Goose, and now all of a sudden, I can listen to Fish. I like Fish. I can appreciate Fish. So Goose made that way more accessible for me, which is really cool, because their songs are more accessible than Fish. They're more like the Dead. They have a bit more heart. They're more poetic, they're more. So it's just like, I think that they can make jams accessible. I think that Goose has the power to make jam music accessible to young people. Because, I mean, I was the same way. Like, the Dead jams really aren't that long. They're not as long as the Fish jams. And I could never get into the Fish jams until now. Now, 20-minute jams is like 10 minutes. When you're there, you're just so lost in the music, the way that they transition between everything. There's no such thing as a song. You're just like experiencing it. And also with other people is a huge part of it as well.
Yeah.
So listening to Goose alone, like it's so much better to listen to them alone after you've seen them, and then you're like in love with them. It's just super. I just urge everyone to go to a Goose show while they're still cheap. Just go.
Good call.
Yeah. Even as I'm a teacher. I teach kids who are like 12 or 12th grade. And like, I always tell them about Goose. I'm like, you got to listen to it. And they just are not like super into it. But I think a lot of these kids have never been to a concert, and they always tell me, they're like, Mrs. L, like, how do you go to so many concerts? I don't think I'll ever go to a concert in my life. But like you just said, Maya, like concerts, like Goose is on the cheaper side where these kids want to go to like Taylor Swift, and it's so expensive. And so I think they don't realize that they can go.
Yeah. And that's a lot of that goes, I mean, I don't know if you've heard about it, but Ticketmaster's under a lot of controversy with the MCR shows. And what is it? There's a term for the fluctuating prices based on demand. But, I mean, it's not, people give Ticketmaster crap for it, but it's the bands. They actively choose to do that. So if you want, like, mid to, like, not great seats, it's like $700. And then on the site, you can buy tickets. Yeah. You can buy tickets immediately and flip them like right there on the main page.
I mean, it's just insane. They should be charging at least $7,000. No.
Yeah.
No. I don't get why. Honestly, they should be charging $20,000 if you want to even have a 4 seconds in the crowd. That should be, they should just give you a loan, $100,000 for the ticket. No. But it feels like that. It feels like that at a
Yeah.
certain point with a lot of these things, right? And they're just like, oh yeah, we're.
Oh, dynamic pricing. That's the term.
That's it.
That's what
yeah.
I was looking for.
I
They've been having a lot of lawsuits for that.
I'll
However,
tell you what I think.
I don't think. I mean, I don't think it's suable by nature because it's just because they have a function on their website doesn't make them the villain. Like, it's up to the artist. The artist is the one that's being greedy.
Well,
So
I this is something I'm thinking about is when it comes to if it comes to Taylor Swift, like she's so big relative to how many people can fit into an arena that like if she charged $10, it'd be impossible. You would still like it doesn't matter. Like there's so many people buying it, reselling it. Like honestly, but if you're someone who's like not that huge, you know what I mean? Like reasonably like big, you know what I mean? I guess that's where the idea of like let's have the tickets be like affordable. Like the Pixies are playing like theaters, right? And like I'm like that's some place where you're like okay, well like
that's also because
actually,
the Pixies don't put out much new music. As
They
opposed to
have-
Taylor Swift throwing out a ton of new
Pretty
music,
reasonable.
and the
Like
Pixies
$6.
tour
no,
constantly.
Mark, they're putting out new music a lot.
Are they now?
Yeah.
Oh,
I didn't know that,
I didn't know that either.
but music when I see that, I've seen them twice.
I
But
see.
usually the tickets are like $60.
Who is it?
And they're right up front. And I love
they literally just released an album. Huh.
Yeah. How
you're
much
right.
are you normally?
tour. I give them the art tour and they're going to the anthem. We know that.
Yeah, they released an album in 2022. All right, I fact checked myself. I'm wrong. They are releasing a lot of stuff.
But so that's where it's interesting is if it's someone who's mega famous, right? It's like okay, MCR at this point is mega famous, and it's just kind of
they
like
released 5
expecting
albums
insanity.
in 2021. What the fuck?
Okay, Mark, I just want to let you know if someone else is talking and you start talking, there's basically no way for the listener to hear two people talking two different things.
Yeah, I'm glad you realized that now. Thank you. I accept your apology.
Oh yeah. No, well,
Something that
What do you-
Goose does, something that Goose does, which is actually super controversial, is they sell VIP tickets. So like and I'd love to talk about it because I think there's a valid argument on both sides where you get in early, so you essentially buy your way to the rail, and then you get like a poster, you get a shirt or some other gift, and it is valid because not everybody, like let's say it's your hometown show and you want to be up on the rail and you can't wait in line all day because you have kids or have to go to work. Like I get it. But it's become a situation of like the rich people buy VIP and take the same rail spot at every show. And I'm guilty of buying them.
Just sit there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm guilty of buying them when I really want it.
I feel like Goose wants young people dancing. Like I think that they deserve that.
You're gonna have a bunch of old heads right up on the front on the rail because they have the money to drop on it.
Exactly.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
it.
You can bump. Maybe it's different at Goose, but as someone who's gone to rock shows, it's not very difficult to just be like,
No, Goose
It's
show
not gonna happen.
incredibly aggressive.
No way.
You can't even get close to people's space. Like it is so aggressive at jam shows. Like my friend who's really like into like more like bass music and like excision, like that kind of thing. He's like, this is so different. Sorry, this is like at Excision, everybody's like, oh, you need to go to the bathroom, like come here and get through here, la la la. And Goose is like, no one move, no nothing, you better not move. Like, we're all staying here, you better not come through my space. Like,
can't go to the
everybody's
bathroom.
in the same space to guard the space. We don't drink anything, so we don't have to go to the bathroom. Like,
I'll be back. I'm getting gassed by a dog.
I just need to have like a coffee. I'm gonna go get water real quick. I'll be right back.
okay, Maya, then there were two. Now, what's happening? What's happening? So you've
They're
got
tapping
Rachel
out.
Dead behind you. And Maya was talking philosophy, spirituality. We haven't dug into that. You wanna dig in?
Oh God, start that conversation.
Yeah, why not?
Well, so I'm big in spirituality. I'm a yoga teacher. I'm a Reiki practitioner, and I think so. When I teach yoga, I play Goose because it's just the perfect soundtrack. But I think we can sum it all up by saying that, like, the best time where I feel that divine connection is at Goose, because they are on the stage channeling it and sharing it with us. And that's all that it comes down to. And everybody says that. They're like, this is my church. And it feels like church. It feels, you feel God there. Not to sound like crazy, but you
No,
feel
but
God.
I never knew what God felt like
Yes.
until Goosemas, until, blowing bubbles. I like that was God, and like looking at you during, I guess it was like Elmeg or something.
I don't even remember. I
I don't
know.
remember what song it was, but it was I just that was God. Like that was that feeling, and you can't describe it until you feel it. But every Goose fan like knows what you're talking about because they have to, and that's why they're going to as many shows as they can and getting up front so they can just blast you in the face. It's something really special, and it's just surprising to me that they're not more popular. Like, obviously, there's radio edits of every song. They can easily radio edit out the jams. The songs are certified bumps, and you can easily edit out the jams through the radio and just have it be like the chorus. And it's like they're certified like bumps. It's just crazy.
I had a really amazing guy tell me at a show one time. He said, I won't have retirement homes or whatever. He was something I won't have when I retire. When I retire, I'll have ticket stubs. That's what I'll have to show of my life. Like some people have property and money. He said, I'll have ticket stubs. And I that's kind of what I've been living by lately.
Me
That's
too.
what I'll have.
Why do I need to leave anything behind?
I
need to
know.
be
You
enjoying
can't take
things
it
in the
with
moment
you.
now. And tickets are a reminder that I enjoyed every moment of my life.
You never know when you're going to die.
And the people that we are friends with, like the older ones, the 40 and 50-year-olds and the 60-year-olds, they are young. They've been kept young by the dead, by Fish, by Goose. Like they've been kept young by this scene. That's why we get along with them so well, because they're not like other old people.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just like, I'm sorry not to call you old guys. I love you. No, remember, right? You know what I mean? Like,
Well, no, I mean, I think it's pretty fair to, colloquially refer to them as old relative to what people think of as a music audience, right?
Yeah.
And so it is interesting when you're talking to like 40, 50, 60-year-olds and they're like on the exact same page as you and you're like 23, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And and they're like, want some DMT? You're like, yeah, so that's got to be, I think it's very fair, but also, yeah, so Mark, you kind of missed it. Maya was really kind of breaking down this idea of like the band channeling something more divine and kind of like boom, like thrusting that out and inviting the crowd and like everyone kind of being in it, and that kind of feeling of like a church environment.
It's like our connection with one another, like shows us our connection with one another through this like unique experience. It's just so weird. It's very hard to describe, but it's very like particular. And I think it's about the collective. I think it's about the fact that we're all like God exists in the space between you and me. It exists. I read a lot of theology. Like I'm trying to be a theology minor, and like it's it like we read a lot about how God is your connection with other people or like that kind of thing. And I think that Goose like brings out the connection of other people. This horrible election just happened. America's like more divided than ever, right? But then like we're all there. No one cares about political beliefs. No one cares about economic status. Like everybody is just together, no matter what their background is, no matter what they believe. They're together, enjoying being happy, enjoying life together, like feeling that connection together. Like it's something truly beautiful. It's something that I think could cause a revolution or change the human condition, at least to be a bit more not collectivist, because capitalism is collectivist, but acknowledging collectivism. But we won't talk about this. We're not getting into this debate. So I'm not going to even say anything about capitalism anymore. We're probably going to edit me out. You're probably going to censor me because I'm a communist.
No, and everybody at the show would literally, like, money ceases to exist. Like, everybody would give you all that they have. Like, people have posters that, those are $100 posters, and they just come up and give it to you. The poster on my wall is free.
People just give you a pit ticket in line.
Yeah, they give you a ticket. They give you a VIP.
They give you a poster. I was like, why did I even buy a ticket? Because this guy just gave this one to me, and now I need to give it to someone else. Like, you can just show up without a ticket. You can drive. We know this one guy that drove. Where did he drive from? He drove like 5 hours and he didn't have a ticket. And you just both nights on the floor right next to us. It's just like a truly beautiful community.
Yeah.
Damn.
Sorry, I think you had a lung infection from Goose.
You got a
Don't
lung
say that. I can't believe
Oh.
I didn't get sick yet. Do you guys
got a
know what the
lung
wook flu
infection.
is?
The
Is
wook
this
flu?
the
Wook flu. So it's they say after you go to a jam show, you get sick with the wook flu.
Yeah,
Which
that's
is
about
when you
it.
get sick, and I'm okay as of right now. So
It's because we're
hopefully,
super wooks.
I don't get it.
Would you say
We're the
she
super
has
wooks.
the bird
We'll
flu
come to wook you.
because it's a goose?
Do you know what a wook is?
Yeah, do you even know what a wook is? Do you know these terms?
We don't know what a wook is, and Mark had something really important to say. Mark, I don't think anyone heard that. Can you say that again real quick?
What'd you say?
Oh, would you say you have a bird flu? Because goose, yeah.
That was really important.
That's good.
We do
Yeah.
have a bird flu. Dude, the bird flu. That's a good Instagram caption.
That's good.
Bro, yeah, that's
Bird
what they
flu.
do.
That'd be the one for the winter.
Hey, you guys should start a page called Goose Official. This is literally Goose. Should be the username, and make that on Instagram, make that everywhere, and start posting as the band. And then just be like, hey guys, we can just do this for you. We're doing it for free right now. We'll continue to do it for free, but you should just let us run the official account.
We can just post it on our Goosey's page and talk about how we would love to run their social media because we're good at
Yeah.
it.
And how I would just love for Trevor to follow me back.
And I would just love for Rick to call me back. Edit that out. Edit
I
that
just
out.
Googled and found on Reddit, a wook is just a pile of drugs in dirt mixed together that has grown sentient.
Yeah.
That
That
does.
is us.
That's kind of how I feel after this
I
weekend.
had
but-
full shower. We didn't shower for 4 days. We were on the rail for 4 days inhaling straight dust. I had to go to the emergency room after. No sleep, sleeping in the rain, on the rail. We were there for the best bands. We got like 3 sets of Humphreys. We got string cheese. We got so many cool ones. We got a Rebelo. We got that one bluegrass guy. I can't remember his name. We got that other, a big something. They were really good. And then of course Goose, the best show I've had. I mean, I called my parents during set break and I told them I loved them, and I told them like you need to get on the stream, and there was no stream, but I was like, this is the best thing I've ever seen in my life. I didn't call them a Goose Miss, you know what I mean? I saw something truly special with the first time I saw them play with Cotter. It was just completely different energy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have a crazy story from Scam.
Yeah.
It was the only negative experience I've ever had at a Goose show, and it was not anyone's fault, but I was on the rail all day when you were there, but we were in front of Peter all day.
Yeah.
I stood there all day. I had my spot, and you know how I am. I do think I'm a very nice person generally, but this lady shows up maybe 2 hours before the show. She's this real short little lady, and she just has an energy about her where I know that this lady might have a demon in her or something, something's off. And she told me she won the lottery and used it to get there. I was like, okay, cool. And she goes crazy essentially. And she's like, oh, can I take a picture? And I was like, yeah, go ahead and take a picture. And she slips onto the rail and she won't move. And I was like, we're not going to do this. You're going to move. This is not happening. You're going to move. She was I'm 5'2". She was shorter than me. And she refuses to move, starts screaming, a whole big thing. And then this other guy starts screaming at me, is you let her up there. And so I have to end up leaving. And all day on that rail in the heat, people were passing out and I walked to the back. And I think that's the lesson we can take, is that you got to know when to give up. And that that circles back to what we started with, that if the energy is not there, the energy is not there. I'd rather watch it from the back than be next to someone giving that energy. But that was a bummer. That was the only negative experience I've had at Goose.
Damn.
Yeah, there's a lot. There was this one lady that shoved me off the rail at Cleveland.
Yeah.
And she just hated me the whole night. I don't know why. But I was still next to her, and she kept just trying to elbow me, shove me, and I'm she was that she was there with her husband. But like, I think she was like jealous of my relationship with Joe and Kevin for some reason. And I was like, you're here with your husband. Like, what, it was weird. But yeah.
All like speaks to a bigger issue of like, is this my spot? Like, this is my spot, but somebody else feels entitled to it.
Yeah, exactly. And like a lot of people were doing that in DC where they were just like venturing up and trying to shove people up the rail. And it was like, bro, like you can't do that. We've been waiting here all day. And there's a huge debate on Reddit about this, like whether or not waiting there all day entitles you to space up front. And a lot of people say that it doesn't. A lot of people are like,
and what does?
Because it's like everyone used to say, like, okay, well, I traveled 5 hours. It's like, okay, I did too, and I was here at 9 a.m.
Yeah.
Like, and I know that there's definitely different. It's like a hard, nuanced issue because, again, like what you said earlier, like some people can't, like physically can't get there, like when we can,
If someone is moving very rapidly along the rail, are they a roller coaster?
No.
Okay.
We're not gonna. Well, we just call them. What do we call them? Custies? That's not even true. We just saw that in American Dad. We'll call them custies.
That's what you guys need to watch. You need to watch the American Dad when they go to fish.
Yeah, that'll give you a really good clue into jam culture. And Bill Walton, he played at EWB. He's a big San Diego guy. My parents were friends with him.
Oh.
Bill Walton. See, you don't know anything about jam culture. Watch the American Dad episode.
We know none. We know nothing.
You will watch the American Dad episode and miss all the fish references, but it'll be fine. They go to all these venues that we've been to in the episode too, like the Hampton Coliseum, stuff like that. Deer Creek.
How big are these venues? So you're saying like, well, I hope they stay the size they are. Like, how big?
They sold out a stadium, but like over the summer, they sold out Forest Hills in New York.
Yeah, we were at Forest Hills. It was packed. It was packed.
They also sold out the Hampton Coliseum both nights, and that's huge. That's like the venue that Fish and Dead like played out regularly, And the one that they're for Goose, which is also like at least all the floor seats are sold out. Like that's even bigger. So it's like for their touring shows, it's not as like they're maybe like what is Brady like 4,000 to 5,000 probably.
Yeah, like, I mean that was on a Tuesday. That was on a Tuesday.
No, that was on a Thursday. Wait, what were you thinking of?
The one in Pittsburgh?
Oh, no, the one in Pittsburgh was on a Thursday, and that was a huge
That was huge, yeah.
But I thought they filled it pretty well. I mean, I saw the videos, and it looked packed. I don't know what Peter was talking about.
Yeah.
What did Peter say?
I mean, that felt like a really small, intimate show. It was really cool. We got, yelled at, like, in the line. Like, this dude on a scooter was like, get a job, hippies, like, at us. Like, all the college kids were talking shit about us. Just being like, why are they waiting here? Why are you guys here? Like, and we were just like, you better come and find out.
Oh.
And they did not. They wanted to watch Gossip Girl, so shout out. Shout out Gossip Girl.
We met these girls and we were like, you should come, you should dance with us. And they were like, I would, but we have a Gossip Girl night.
Huh.
And I'm not going to hate on Gossip Girl, but...
They were like, Chuck Bass is hotter. It's a little true. I'd love to see Chuck Bass rip some keys or some shit.
So is there some sort of romantic thing?
Why are you trying to keep with the romantic thing? There's no romantic thing. I fall in love with... Okay, got it. I didn't get a little crushy on Rick until I think the third time I saw them, and it was because I was on the rail. And I was never attracted to any of them before. I mean, maybe a little bit Trevor just because he's so majestic.
Yeah.
But like in general, I wasn't there for the attraction at all. I was just there. I mean, I like bands, I usually don't like bands that are hot. Like Rush is like my favorite band, and they're not like hot at all. They're the opposite. So but then at Scamp, Rick is right in front of me. He got some kind of haircut. He looks great. He's in this little button down. He's looking at me, I think, on the rail. I don't know, maybe. But he's like, I love sweet nectar above. She's either queen of the means or she's sweet as a dove. Like, oh my God. in love. And then he came out in Indiana with the sleeveless.
Oh, I know.
Oh,
So,
die.
was that song about you, do you think? Do you think you wrote that
Yeah.
right then?
No, but if there's a frisbee in a song in the future, it's about me. You know, they did start selling frisbees a month after that happened, so that was pretty cool.
They
They
owe
look a
you.
lot like my frisbee. I should
I don't
probably
think it's
say
a coincidence. I literally, because think about it. Who else threw a frisbee that looked like that?
yeah, it looked exactly like it. Like it was clear. And Rick remembered the frisbee. Like when I was like, hey, like I threw the frisbee at you, he was like, oh my God. He was like, oh, he remembered it. Because I knew he would, because he acted like whatever. He was so nervous. Like it was so nervous.
So, how many more times do you want to see Goose this year? Like, what's the goal?
Well, I'm
All of
I'm
that.
gonna reach 20 by the end of the year. I think. What are you gonna reach?
I'm going to be at 36 by the end of the year.
See, like our friends Joe and Kevin, they've been like 300.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Jeff literally told me to get my numbers up. I was like, "How many shows are you at?" I'm like, "This is like my 11th." He's like, "Get your numbers up." Jeff is the drummer.
But now we're going to go to them all together. So we got it. We got it.
there we go.
Days. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah. How many? I don't even know where that sentence was going. I knew when I started the sentence, but then when I got there, it didn't go. So, okay. There you go. Another sentence. Perfect.
Well, I will say, like, Rick was right. I was right in front of the camera, so I think Rick was probably looking at the camera. But, like, I thought he was looking at me.
No.
And it was, it was really great. It was really
we can be a little delusional.
I think, like, he was not looking at me. He was looking at me at Cleveland.
No, you can't be delusional.
It's awesome. This is very. I mean, imagine what the girls did for the Beatles and Motley Crue.
Exactly. I don't feel bad.
These guys play Super Smash Bros on their bus. They don't smash us. Oh, that rhymes. Clip that.
Bro.
That was good.
This is gonna
clip that.
I have like 3 hours of footage to sift through.
I have nothing to say.
Work.
Do we have any more tea? I don't think so.
Yeah. So I see a Goose poster in the back. Maya, do you want to show off your collection real quick?
Sure. Okay. I took them out of the tube too. So this is the first one I ever bought. It's from Indiana, the sleeveless show. Otherwise, I saw the Pixies there before. It's such a great venue. It's a little annoying to see Goose outside because the lights, like, you really want to see them in dark. But yeah, this is like an ELA reference. They cover some ELA songs, and I just thought it was really cool. So it's the first poster I bought. This one, I don't have very good luck with posters. Like I usually, the ones that Salt said weren't that good. But this one I got at the tour opener in New Jersey. It kind of matches the other one that I have, which is really cool. And that was like a cool show. It was just like seated, so it was just like different vibes. And the people in New Jersey were just talking about sports the whole time, and we were like, but anyway, okay, now I'm going to show you the ones I just bought. So they have these things called foil posters, and I finally bought one because I finally found one that I liked enough to be a foil. But you should show up your collection too, Maya.
I have a bunch of them like sitting in here.
I feel bad putting this out, but I do want to show how cool this foil is. So this is from Cincy. This is like one of the bits, but I just had to find one that I liked enough to have a foil. It's really cool.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
It's like cooler in the light too, like in the sun. So I'm finding that.
You mentioned wanting to do art for bands, right? So on your way to Goose, what bands are you looking at that you think you'd want to start doing art for?
Eggy, mainly. I want to start with Eggy because I love Eggy and I want to support them. And I think that they should be way bigger than they are,
Yeah.
Like they're just too talented. But
well, why? If they're so talented, then why doesn't no one know about them?
I mean, that's a stupid.
No, I'm sorry.
There's a lot of people that are incredibly talented. I mean, Goose. No one really knows about Goose, and they are incredibly talented.
I mean, why should they? No.
I think it's just like young people, like in your circle. We all know about Eggy. We love Eggy. Everybody in our circle knows Eggy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, Maya's. Goose is my favorite band. I'm like the number one Goosicle. I know all of the Goosies, and Well,
The
I
Goose
think
one, that was the best one so far. All right, this one's from Washington, D.C. I don't know why I just have it. There was another one that was just as cool, but
Oh, I like that.
Earthling, oh, alien. But yeah, they got some. I really want to make a poster for them soon. I have a lot of cool ones, so who knows? But yeah, they're really sick. I love them. And like collecting posters, collecting merch, like bootleg merch. I have a bunch of bootleg merch too. It's like really like a whole
Yeah.
culture. It's a whole other
what's on
culture.
the wall? What's on the wall? Before we move on,
What's on the
you got
wall?
stuff
A
on the
lot
wall.
of
You
stuff
got
is on the wall. Let's
Oh,
see.
wait.
So this, it's like funny. I have to. Okay, so this is like, I don't know. This is mainly like my ticket from the Masonic Temple. It says like $20 in his pit.
You
that was
got
my
a physical
first show.
ticket? I didn't get a physical
It
ticket.
was because I had to upgrade because I got like scammed by
Oh.
StubHub. But it was really easy to, and they just gave it to me. And like now I have a hard ticket, which is really cool from the first show. These are two Eggy and Houseplant. We just saw them. It was cool. We love to collect hard tickets because they don't really exist anymore. And then this is Ben, Ben's drumstick, like the former drummer of Goose from his last show on December 9th. And this is Alex Bailey's drumstick from Eggy. I got it at Scamp. As you can see, like he had been playing with it all day. So it's really screwed up, which is cool. And then that's just the drummer of Jeremy Zucker, like whoever his drummer is. They came to Denison. I don't really know his music, but I went up at the end and was like drumstick, and he gave me one, and then all the girls like freaked out and like wanted one too. It was really funny.
So why doesn't someone like Eggy just open for like Goose? I know they don't do that, but like
It's
why would that
happened before. It's happened in the past. Because they're from like the same town. But I think now like people want to see Goose too badly. Like
Yeah, people don't want an opener. And like low key, like I want Eggy to open for Goose because I want Eggy to have that opportunity, but I don't want to have to wait for an opener after I've been waiting in line all day and then I'm waiting there for them to come out. It's exhausting. Like I wish
got
it
an
was
idea.
normal.
Why doesn't Maya? There's something blocking your camera.
Yeah, my webcam like turned off. I'm trying to get it reconnected.
There's something in front of your camera, like
Yeah,
blocking.
it's the webcam. Look, ready? It's the webcam.
Is the webcam
watch this.
blocking your webcam?
Yeah, watch this. Ready?
I don't want to watch anything.
Why is
I'm
it
gonna
not
watch my
letting
dog.
me?
My dog's really cool.
Why is it not letting me connect it though? It's
You
so
guys see
weird.
my dog? He's really cool.
Yes, we see your dog.
Do I need to like rejoin with it? I don't
know. You can go back to your camera. There you go.
Yeah,
Just stay
okay, I
like
guess I
that.
can just take it off.
There you go.
Oh,
See
sure.
there. That's what we do.
Okay, so anyway, but yeah, like it's so exhausting to be at a
Why
jam
don't
show.
they
Like
play outside while you're waiting in line? Why don't the openers play outside for you while you're waiting in line?
like the lot band, yeah.
that could be cool. For sure, we could dance in them. That'd be awesome. If Goose could do something like that.
You know, what if they
Actually,
just
that's a
do-
really good idea.
What if they just
Like
do
opener
like
party.
yeah,
Ooh.
But then
exactly.
but then more people are gonna wait in line. We don't need any of that.
No, you just make it outside. You just have to do it in like the parking lot or someplace.
I think it's a cool
Yeah.
idea.
Like,
I just don't want to lose my place
a
in
couple
line.
spots. Maybe put them on a stage so people are gonna like kind of like
Lot
sit around.
band,
But
yeah.
It's not a bad idea.
There's something there, and do it acoustic so it's like not like
You have lot bands, you have openers. That means,
Yeah.
well, you always have some form of entertainment going on.
exactly.
Just
You could
thinking
get
of
people playing
portals.
the fiddle. You could get people like it would change. You know what I mean? You want some trumpet, like you get some horns, you get some strings. Like what would
Yeah,
work?
we
more
love. I want
perfectly?
to see Goose with horns again.
With
Like, there's a
horns.
couple
It's
times
so
when Goose
good.
has horns. Yeah, Goose and Tab both with horns.
Have you seen this, Maya? Have we shown you this? Someone gave me this.
Is that Rick?
It's the Rick pick.
Can you just show it a little? How is he so attractive? It's just not okay. It's just like not okay.
And then look at
One of a
that.
kind.
Oh, shit, I
He looks so good on that pic. I want a Rick pic so badly. What is that?
You
Why
have
does
an
that
ID?
exist? Why do you have Rick fucking Rick shit, dude? I want Rick shit. This is all I have.
Look, this is all from Summer Tour, and this isn't even all of it.
Not
Okay,
you guys.
that's not fair because I don't
boxing
know why
Rick.
I didn't go on more summer tours. I should have just met you. I should have just met you at
We
Scamp
would've
and then you
brought
would
you
have
the
taken
whole
me
thing.
everywhere with you. Yeah. I don't know why I didn't meet you at Scamp. I remember because we both took the same video of their Rockdale sound check, but like from
Yeah.
different angles. Like I was on Trev's side and you were on Pete's side. I remember
This
like
one,
when you
they're
followed me.
Teletubbies.
I put all my stickers on my computer, so I can't really show you guys my stickers, but they're really cool. But
This isn't
I have
even all
this
of it. This is like
really
a quarter
special
of it. It's
sweatshirt.
so many.
Like we know the people that like make this stuff, and they're really cool. Like they're like fans, and like we just want to support them. Like Fox and Cobra, shout out! She makes the coolest stickers, coolest merch. I have a cool. I'll show you the shirt from her in a second. But this one, I think it's a permanent ink, permanent marker dyes. They like this is just like. So, like, Blood Buzz is, like, their Ohio song. They call us Ohio because they love playing here more than anywhere else. And then we got a Jerry Garcia quote, Crimson White and Indie Groove by Jerry Garcia. We also got Clarence Carter going, that Crystal Rick be stroking it. And then we got our Werewolf Vampire Man. It's 3 Days in Cincy. Fucking sick. I'll show the Rick shirt. Hold on. You can show more. Wait, where?
So, Maya, how do you determine if someone's a fake fan?
I don't want to be like.
How do you gatekeep as a Goose fan, as a geese fan?
As a top tier 1%er Goose fan, how do you gaslight and gatekeep?
Yes.
Not to like dodge the question, but I don't think anyone can be a fake fan if they're like feeling the energy and they have this like the spirit of Goose in them. I don't think that they're a fake fan. I think anyone can be a real fan as long as they're feeling the energy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's
they're
where I'm
not
going
just
to
there
leave
to
it.
like get fucked up.
And
because a lot of people are there to just like do drugs.
Well, see, Maya, you do a lot of debating and things like that. If you had to argue the position of like, I'm trying to find a way to exclude people and to be really nasty, how would you do it? How would you exclude people and say you're not a legitimate fan, or how would you be really rude?
I would call them a poser, but like again, I don't think that like it's easier to call deadhead like kid deadheads, young deadheads posers now than it is to call Goose fans because us Goose fans we're doing what the deadheads did, all of us.
Wait, so why are you taking shots at dead fans, young dead fans?
It's not dead fans. I'm just saying there's a lot of more posers in like the deadhead community of just
young people just listening to the dead and like posting TikToks.
What do you mean they're posers? Have you not seen the cringy dead TikToks? I see them all the time.
No,
where
I've seen
just like white girls.
So bad.
And they're just like finally listening to the band where my like for my shirt like or just like it's just cringe. And they're like wearing shirts from shows they haven't been to. I haven't worn a shirt from a show I haven't been to ever.
Me neither. I won't buy a poster or a shirt if I wasn't there.
Look at this. Fox and Cobra, best shirt ever. Is it a little bit fucked? Yes. It is a little bit fucked, Rick. I'm a little bit fucked. But, yeah. Everybody starts saying that during that line. Everybody starts screaming during that line. If you're watching, we're doing it.
But you keep trying to do it, and when she does it, she has no voice left.
I know. It's specifically, I did it at Salt Shed. You can hear me on Salt Shed. And you can hear me at Scamp. During the Revelo one, I'm really loud. At Scamp, like, Josh told me before the show, he was like, I bet you can, like fuck Jeff, like the drummer or whatever. And I was, like, on acid, so I was like, okay. And,
okay.
Yeah, and so he came out on the bass or whatever, and I just screamed, like, I was right in the front, and I just screamed, like, Jeff! And, like, they were like, and he was just like, my name is Jeff. Like,
my name's Jeff.
And then I also just screamed really loudly at the badge part. But I lost my voice from doing it in Pittsburgh. Like, I screamed so loud so that they could hear me during the sound check. Really hope they did. But yeah, I didn't have any voice left. I mean, I did like 6 shows, so it's gone.
Yeah.
You guys should check out this band, Pond. They're really good. They're like psychedelic rock, but they're also really good. I saw them last night. They're sick.
Pond isn't that bad.
I really like them. I really like their singer. He's got that like Mick Jagger thing about him. He's a performer. It was cool to see a band with like a singer again, because so many jam bands like the singer is the guitarist.
Yeah.
But like it was good to see like a real singer, jumping around, performing, throwing themselves
just like
people.
Tool. A real jam band with a singer.
And
No,
like
so-
and like Rush, kinda.
Hey.
I just like think there's so many similarities between all
Hey,
the
question.
Yeah.
Question. Hi. No.
It makes
Okay,
so much sense that Tool is kind of a jam band. That last album.
Their last album is
Well,
just
I think that prog and jam are just really similar, but I would say that prog is like structured jam music, and that's why I think that Goose is more prog than jam.
Oh, okay. I get it. Yeah.
I
No,
think that
I know
prog
See
is
it.
just really
What did you
structured
guys? I want to
jam.
ask Myers. What stuff do you remember growing up listening to that you like more now and see as being like, oh, that makes sense why I like Goose so much is because I liked this growing up.
Because I was really into, like, I still am. I like Midwest emo. And like there is like a Midwest emo crossover, especially with like the guitar, and even sometimes like Goose can like go into shoegaze. And so I think there's definitely a crossover there, and that makes sense for me. Big Midwest emo girl. I just saw American Football, and it was like top 5 shows I've ever been to. So good.
Who is the quarterback?
Cool.
Ooh, good
I
one.
knew you were going to do some sort of joke about this.
Huh?
I can't let you around people. You need to go back in the cage.
Yeah,
Don't
your
get
heart
me
is
the good
getting
time.
anywhere, Connor. Including your own
Maya,
podcast.
you've been one to be in cages of your own free will. How would you relate to this topic of the Midwest emo and these things relating to the Goose?
Well, as someone that identifies as a Midwesterner after 5 years.
Has it been
Good.
5 years?
Have you really been in Denison for 5 years?
Well, yeah, I also lived in Columbus for 2 summers.
We claim you in the Midwest.
And also, yeah, exactly. Like I'm in that show Ohio, baby. Like
Ohio.
no one loves Ohio more than me. I think it's just the best fucking place in the world. And I love the Midwest. I love the people. I love Chicago. I love Pittsburgh. It's just like the most beautiful cities, and there's just like it's quiet.
So wait,
there's
why
not
is
many
Pittsburgh
people.
a beautiful city? I've heard the exact opposite.
I don't know how. Have you ever been on that bridge through the Fort Pitt? Have you ever driven on the Fort Pitt Tunnel, dude? Fort Pitt Tunnel.
No.
That's the most beautiful view. It's the view from Wallflower or whatever, perks of being a wallflower.
Yeah.
I mean, and Pittsburgh also just looks beautiful lit up at night. It's so much better than New York because it's like smaller and the river just flows around it. It's just so beautiful, especially in the fall. All of it is just so beautiful.
Favorite cities you guys have been to and least favorite cities?
Least favorite
Indianapolis is the worst city on the planet. I almost got killed at the bus station there. I had to go wait in a coffee shop for like 6 hours for my bus to get delayed. I almost got killed there like twice during trying to follow Goose.
It is so dangerous. I hate Indy. I don't.
I've been there like 1 a.m. with old guys just staring at me, homeless people trying to talk to me, like fucking scary shit. I woke up one time and I was in a crowd of homeless people, and they had called the police on me because they thought I OD'd, and they were calling me Sleeping Beauty and stuff. And they were like, "Oh, we had to call the police on like Sleeping Beauty," and I was like, "Oh my god!" And then the cop was just like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, I was just at the festival. Like, I'm fine." Like, and he was like, "Can I help you out at all?" And I was like, "Can you please just charge my phone?" So then like one of the cops goes over to his other cop and like they start charging my phone, and the homeless people are like 420 friendly, and I was like, "What do you mean?" And he just like pulls out a joint, and I started smoking with the homeless people, and we start in front of the cops, like in front of the cops. It was just legendary.
What?
And then they helped me carry my bag onto the bus. It was cool.
So was that your favorite or least favorite city?
I don't know. It was just something.
This
It was just a
turnaround
crazy
that it
story
was so
that I have from the
dangerous.
jam.
And then it ends with you smoking with homeless people.
Yeah, well, that wasn't in Indianapolis. That was on the way to Indianapolis. That was probably the best bus
One of
station.
us. One of us. What?
I think like I want to say Pittsburgh is my favorite city, but it's probably Chicago.
Yeah.
So I just
I'm a
haven't been to
Chicago
Pittsburgh
girl.
enough. I love Cincinnati.
I like Cincy. Yeah.
You got it. I've been in none
You
of
don't
these
like
places.
Chicago?
Why? Why do you like these places? I need something.
Because
Chicago's just like New York better.
Yeah, there's a lot of heart in the Midwest. People
Yeah,
are
that's
nicer.
what it is. Just people
There's
are
a
so
lot of
nice.
heart. I'm not a New York City girl. I'm not a West Coast girl at all. But Chicago is where it's at.
it's like cleaner, prettier.
Yeah.
There's not a bunch of people like storming the streets constantly. It's just like the nice parts of Chicago, or even like it's just like it's so the people are so much nicer. You're right on Lake Michigan. It's like very beautiful. It looks like the ocean.
All right,
Chicago is the place to be. If for like a big city, Chicago's the place to be. But Pittsburgh is beautiful. Has so many music venues, such good food. Same with Chicago, such good food, such good music venues. No. But Columbus is even awesome. I love Columbus. It's awesome like music culture. Crazy music in Columbus, especially for upcoming artists. We have like venues like the Dunkarees. That's like a laundromat. You would love that, where people are just throwing each other around, hardcore like punk, and like crowd surfing and stuff. I mean, there's just so many cool niche venues, like in Ohio specifically, like, and in Cincy again. It's such a beautiful city. It's like in southern Ohio. Also, Covington, Kentucky, really, really beautiful city.
It was
awesome for jams. Like that's where Goose said they had their first fans, was in Covington. So,
how's Austin?
Yeah, Austin. I don't know. I've never been, but
we're going.
We're going for New
Year's.
That's why I asked you if you were going to be in Austin, because I was trying to find a place to stay, but now we're chilling.
Oh, good.
Mark?
Yeah.
We'll give you a review on Austin after the fact.
Yeah, well, you'll see our podcast episode about Austin.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to review everything on our podcast. Every little detail of every show.
Oh.
If we post enough, Trevor will follow me back.
Trevor is going to follow us, Goosies. They're going to love the Goosies thing. Maybe do you think people will think it's cringe and make fun of us?
I hope
so.
No,
because we're so hot. We're so much hotter than any of the other fans. And we're cooler.
I hope so.
Sorry, that's not true. That's not true. Guys, Goose, I'm not like that. I'm sorry. Goose, I'm not like that. Peter, I'm not like that. I love you, Peter.
But you are like that.
Keep dancing, Peter. Dance, Peter. And grow your mustache back. Stop.
It's already almost back.
I know. He has such an ability to grow back. It already looked like he was coming back at Pittsburgh. I was like, okay.
I know. He grows facial hair faster than anybody
that's
else.
why he cut it for a Halloween costume, because he knew he'd be able to handle it for a couple of bad trips.
And he knew it would cause like a stir, and people would post about it.
Yeah, no, literally.
Would you rob Peter?
No.
Where did that come from?
Would I what?
Rob Peter.
Rob Peter? Why?
Yeah.
No. Of what? Of his Weezer shirt?
No, I mean, like, first
off, let's
we're gonna get back to the robbing Peter thing, but okay, you were dogging on Make Believe. Why?
What? Because what's the one song out of it? Beverly Hills? That's it.
Beverly Hills is great. Perfect Situation, great. This Is Such a Pity, great. We Are All on Drugs. I forgot about
Perfect Situation, but the rest of it is shit.
We Are All on Drugs is not that great. All right, I'm being honest.
I was just trying to give examples. I can think of worse Weezer albums than Make Believe.
There you go. That's what I'm saying. Have you heard the new one?
I just thought it was funny that Peter's like a Weezer poser. Like, I was like, wait, do you even know Weezer, bro? Like, what's your favorite song?
Why is he a poser? What album did he sing?
Because he said he liked every album, and every Weezer fan hates every album except like the first two.
Well, I was just
that's pretty. That's pretty.
No,
it's incredibly accurate.
Never mind. You know what? I'm gonna be that guy. I really like the Red Album.
I love the Red Album. Actually, I love the Green Album.
Great.
I love the Green Album.
We've got Weezer, Blue Album.
I love Ratitude, baby.
We got Ratitude. We got Malderat. We got Green. We got Red.
I gotta get more water. I'm sorry, guys. I'm dying. Wait.
And that's about it. No, what was it? The White Album was pretty good.
There's like 2 songs on there. In all honesty,
there's a lot on there. I can go through these albums.
Nah.
Basically, the whole point is Weezer is clearly better than Nirvana and definitely Goose. No, I'm kidding. That's a joke.
They're not even comparable.
Oh, so wait. I need to wait for Mai to get back to ask her about robbing Peter.
I know where this joke is going.
Yeah. Okay. We'll just then you do it to her.
I have no idea where this joke is going.
You can do it.
Mai, I really don't want to, but I want you to do it. Just take over, because then she'll be more confused. Like, what are you doing? Why are you in on this?
I don't know how you're going to get to the punchline, though.
No, you do it. You do it. I want
way of getting there.
You got to do it. You got to do it.
Then explain how you're going to get to the punchline.
How are you going to get to the punchline? Like, just say it?
You got it. Whatever you're going to do is going to be better. You got it. I believe you.
Hopefully, we're going to the same place with this.
We got it. We got it. I believe in us.
Okay.
Fuck.
Wait, let me Google it to make sure I actually know what it
You
is.
got this. You got this.
Okay.
So Maya, other Maya, wait, Landsberg.
Okay, I got it.
I'm gonna talk to Landsberg and just really try and like keep her busy if she comes back, and then
She's
you
back. I got it.
can. Maya, we were talking about Weezer and how they're better than Goose. That was your quote. I don't know why
Well,
you
no,
said that.
Weezer was like one of my first Gooses where I was getting into their music by myself, and they took me places, but they're nothing compared to Goose. I mean, Goose is like a
It's
generational
probably
thing.
different.
They've only been around for
probably-
10 years, and they're already as big as they are. You know what I mean? They're
Yeah.
very fast, and right now they're really up the uptick. We can all feel it. It's just like it's a feeling. It's a feeling that you're a part of something really special.
Special.
And it's like I don't even want younger people to get into Goose. It's not even about their success. Like obviously I want them to do well, but it's more about I just want to share Goose with everybody that I know. Everybody that I love, I feel like they deserve the chance to experience what we get. And that's more why I want more people to go to Goose. It's like, yeah, the commercial success would be great, but like I just want everybody to be able to experience that magic that they make. It's just so I don't know. It's just transcendental. It's fucking sick as fuck.
And so is that why you were saying you wanted to rob Peter?
No, you said that. I would never rob Peter. Again, rob Peter of what? His moog? He has a moog. It's sick. It's sick. Can we play Marry, Fuck, Kill? With Goose?
Marry Margaret Thatcher,
we have to
kill
finish the joke.
Margaret Thatcher,
Oh,
and
yeah.
fuck
No,
Margaret
Marry, Fuck,
Thatcher.
Kill, Goose.
There you go.
Oh yeah, fuck Mary
Peter,
Kill Goose.
Coach.
It's gone.
Peter, Coach, and Berta.
No, we can't do this.
I'm just kidding. Jeff, and Jeff.
There you go. That's the right answer. Peter.
I really want to marry Rick. Probably. Yeah, he's so cute. Anyway.
You can just make it Rick. You can marry, kill him, and bang him.
Yeah, he is a vampire after all.
Get the insurance money.
Yeah. I just need to breed more Miratondas. Miratotonda. Why is this connected to Maya's left? That's going out.
So Maya, are you both gonna get impregnated by different members? What's the
Jesus
what's
fucking
strategy?
Christ.
Well, she's married, unfortunately. So we got to figure that out.
That's not a problem. Not a problem.
Not a problem. I agree.
Not
I
a
think
problem.
he would want to be married to Trevor, too. Like, I think
No, he knows.
he
knows.
can get
All
in on the
good.
three-way marriage.
But I think the thing, like me and Maya are so good for each other because, like, if we were both in love with Rick, like it would not be good.
Yeah.
But like,
oh, really?
Yeah.
No,
probably.
yeah, I there's this other girl that she knows that's in love with Rick, and I am like not excited to meet her, especially because I've gotten so much farther than her in like in terms of like the concerts, in terms of like Rick. I
Rick,
just
I hope
like
you're watching this part. No.
no, actually, I don't want her to watch this part. We have to take this out. I'm just telling you guys this. I don't want to talk shit about her.
So it's okay.
Mark!
I got it.
But yeah,
Thank you,
but like
Mark.
I'm just saying, like I'm a jealous whore. I hate seeing Rick with other women.
Can we keep that part in? No.
Please.
Just that clip.
I feel like you would find it funny, but also no.
No, just the part where we go, I'm a jealous whore. And then cut.
Yes.
I know. After I met Trevor and he didn't follow me back, I like almost started crying. He watched
my whole story. And
he watched my whole story. Like we have a connection. The things on the stage, like
I've always had a connection, with Rick. He fucking looks at me. Okay, we need to stop. Cut it out.
I know.
Cut it out.
Nice.
When we
Really
get into
cut it
this,
out.
we are like insufferable. Like nobody can stand us.
I know exactly. Josh was about to blow his brains out in
I
the
know.
car on
Josh
the way
was
back.
like, I know. Ethan likes
This is
it,
his
though.
worst nightmare because he was the one that was telling me from the beginning, like, you're never gonna get Rick. You're never gonna get Rick. Like, you're delusional. You're delusional.
Let me
And, like,
give some
Is this
context
other
to this
members
story.
in the band telling you this?
So, okay, you guys want to know? It's Rick on guitar and vocals, Peter on the piano, Trevor on the bass, Cotter on the drums that are like and then like Jeff on everything else on another drum set. Somehow a guitar, somehow a gong, somehow
a can of quarters,
bongos, cans, or maracas.
So who's better at guitar, Peter or Rick? Because every time I look down at it was Peter playing.
Rick is one of the best guitarists of like our time, and he's only 30.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Rick is like that's the thing is like Rick is like that's what makes Goose. Like they have an iconic guitarist, like someone someone that could be to the level of Trey or Jerry someday.
Goose is better off for Peter not being in the band. I mean, that's really messed up.
No, Peter's essential.
Okay.
No, Peter's absolutely essential. He literally does all the talking. Rick doesn't talk a lot. It's very special when he does. But Peter like does all like, "Hey everybody, we're happy to be here." La, la, la. Like he jumps around and he's like the social one on stage. Trevor just stands there. Like,
he's so quiet, and I love it. He's so quiet.
It's so
when
good.
He looks at me, we saw it under his sunglasses. You can see when he opens his eyes.
I know, that's what I mean. That's why I can tell when Trevor looks at me, because he like looks at me. He turns his head and he does the little bass thing, and I'm like, because we're dancing like beautiful hot women, and they're into it. That's why. You can see us on the streams. We're on all of the streams, like dancing in the front. Of them, and you can see how close we are. Like they saw me dance. I mean, they literally complimented me. They're like, "We saw the pictures Berta took of you." Like meaning Rick saw the pictures that Berta took of me. Also, they posted me. Did you see that, Connor?
Do I have to edit out every mention of Rick from you?
No, just
like the stuff. I'm in a like weird, incriminating stuff. Because it's like a guy I'm actually talking to, if that makes sense. Think of it like that.
But they might like it because like they don't really have a lot of fans like that.
I think some of it is funny. And like most of it in the beginning was good. The only part that I really want edited out is like where I'm talking about how like I feel like he was like watching me and then like I made the frisbee. Like we can edit that whole part out. But like not meeting him and not like, you know what I mean?
Mark, you need to make it, tasteful and endearing.
Like saying something uncomfortable, like I'm gonna fuck Rick or something like that. Like nothing. Or have
just make us look cute.
Yeah,
and then send it to them.
Me breeding guitarist. I know I said that, but like most of the stuff about Rick is pretty funny. I think just read the vibes.
Yeah.
Mark, you kind of are like a vibe.
Anyway, I wanted to show you the photo. Yeah, I can't believe you guys didn't see that. I think you did.
Yeah.
They posted us. Actually, we're both in the photo, which is crazy.
I'm in the back.
We are literally both in the photo though, and we knew each other, but like not as well as we do now.
Yeah, we went from like not knowing each other to like let's live together.
Like the course of a tour. Yeah, that's what.
I forgot that
I am in that.
Yeah, Rick saw that.
Yeah,
it's a sexy photo. Look at the cleavage. Like, dude, and that's the outfit I met of him. That he was like, "I love your outfit."
What's going on? Let's get.
He literally said, "I love your outfit" to me, and he never broke eye contact the entire year.
Wait, why don't you show up like a drag queen one time? Like, be totally like over the top.
I don't. I mean, Goose. I think I like to look like a beautiful little hippie woman.
There you go.
Yeah.
But
So
I hope we can get more people to dress like us and just be us. Just run away and dance with us. Dance Revolution. We want to do demonstrations in public where everyone just comes and dances.
So wait, what city are you guys in? Where are you going to be like domiciled? Headquartered?
Indiana. I mean,
outside of Chicago and Indiana.
Oh, okay. So like by Chicago.
Yeah, right by like 45 minutes out.
Chicago.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna be able to commute to Chicago for work or figure out something else, but it'll be cool. They live by like Michigan too, which is sick.
Yeah, they live right by the state or the national park.
Yeah, the national park. Like, I'm really excited. I just love the Midwest, so. And I love Maya and Ethan so much. They're the best people I've ever met.
We're gonna have so much fun. I wish you were here right now. Really
start a little comedy. I think this is the start of the cult. Like, I think we all want to start a cult, and I think this is the start of like the movement.
We can buy some land.
Wait,
yeah, all go on some land. I have money to go on some land. We can get other people to go on some land with us.
Yeah.
Goose Union.
So
we're planning it, guys. Join. Come give your money to the Goose. Yeah. The Goose Affair.
Goose Nation.
When's the first
showing how to
episode
be
of the
communist
Goosies?
because communist is our natural conditions. We're
Yo,
showing
when's
how
the first episode of the Goosies? When should we record this shit?
we should do it literally this week if you want to.
Yeah,
we can
let's
do
do it
whenever
this
you
week.
want. We can
Let's
also
do
just
it
go
whenever.
Do it right after you get off
We're
the
gonna go live
call.
on TikTok.
Yeah.
Yes.
You should
But
start
like,
right
just
after
figure it out.
10.
Or I'm not gonna go live on the TikTok. I think we're gonna go live on Twitch.
Yeah.
Do
I
it.
like debate people. Connor, do you want to debate me on Twitch? Right now?
Oh, I don't want to
No.
debate you.
You I know because you're annoying as fuck to debate. But
Maya, you're gonna lose instantly. You know that.
against Connor, are you kidding me? I'm a debate champion. I literally have trophies. He's not gonna fucking win against me.
See, you try and win debates. I try and get to a mutual understanding
I
where
do as
we
well,
we
but
learn
I
more than we
skill
did
set. What I'm
without
saying
any of
is that
us
I have a
losing
skill
face.
Maya, I'm sorry, Connor's too base for you. You're not gonna
That's
survive.
not true. You guys
Wow,
are just
look
like
at those
brain
trophies.
rot and capitalists.
She's got
It's literally
trophies.
just
Where
brain
are your
rot and
trophies?
capitalism.
Hey. I
Anyway,
make
let's
love
get
not
back to
war.
Goose
I
away
make
from
love
politics.
not war, girl. You know I make love not war. Yeah. That's what we doing.
Back to
Yeah.
the Goose away from the
No,
politics.
I like to be like Jay-Z. Yeah. I think Jay-Z sound
Connor,
like
what are you
that.
talking
All right, are we done
about?
here?
What Jay-Z sounds
Yes,
like.
this has gone on for so long.
I love
I need to eat
it.
food.
So when is the Goosey Goose happening? We still need to get that.
All right, everybody, tune into the Goosies this week. I don't know where we're gonna do it, but it's gonna be awesome.
We'll figure it out. We need to
We'll
make an
figure it out.
Instagram.
And well, yeah,
Yeah.
we'll keep making Instagram. We're gonna do all this, and we're
Yeah.
gonna find out about it, and it's gonna be awesome. And also, yeah, I don't know. Next Goose show is on Sunday at MSG, baby.
Ooh, yeah.
Let's go, Goose.
Hey Maya, when you're in New York, make sure to hang out with LJ. He's there now.
Oh my God, LJ and Alessandro in the same room. They're the same person. They might like fuck each other.
Okay.
Oh
Well,
my
Mark's gonna cut that.
You know, like you get Alessandro. He's like my version of LJ. Dude, and that's what I'm going to visit. That's crazy. Okay, cool. Sorry, I'm excited
you should
about
hit up
that.
LJ when you're in New York.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him the time of his life.
Oh God.
Alessandro is insane, dude. It's so
It's about to be freaky. New York.
Yes.
You gotta get that brain rot. So, Maya, both Mayas? What's your favorite pieces of brain rot if you had to really go?
No.
Is it a Talk Tua? Is it
what
a
my favorite Goose song is though. It's
I
Turn
know
Me
mine. So I like, the chicken nuggets that are like, you know those?
No, I don't. What's up?
No!
What?
Yeah.
Give me a minute.
Instagram.
Yes!
You guys are not as deep
It's
in
cooking!
brain
It's been 5 hours, it's been 38 days, and we're finally cooking. Yes. Mark,
Yeah.
look at your face right now.
Mm-hmm.
This is the face of glory.
Wait.
You're looking off screen.
Okay, there's an ad. This. Oh, you can't see it. This. Huh. Wait. It's a chicken nugget. You've never seen that?
No.
You don't know brain rot like I do. I'm a teacher. I know all the brain rot.
Oh. What's the
that's
craziest
fair.
thing one of your kiddos has ever done or said or referenced?
I have a kid who comes in every day and just says, "Hey, Miss L, you look so pretty today. Your camera looks so good." He just compliments me every day, and then he keeps adding me on social media. So that makes me a little bit uncomfortable, but otherwise, I usually don't have a problem. But he's pretty deep into my social media now, and I
Public
probably
on social media?
I should have a better digital footprint, but.
Well, why is that? Why is that?
Evened up digital footprints, you can't see any of them.
Okay. I just worry about stuff like involving drugs or like, but I mean,
I know.
Yeah,
I
your students shouldn't be following their teachers until they're like 18.
never. They can never follow me, but like they just keep finding it and like requesting. And I do kind of want to build like a digital like brand a little bit. Like I want the members of Goose to see my Instagram, so my Instagram is open, which is probably fucking me over, but worth it a little bit.
I think it's just like, it's not your problem what students do to you when you're off the clock.
Yeah, I'm allowed to have fun.
Yeah, and it's your freedom to do so, and they can't fire you for what you do off the clock like that. So, and it's not your responsibility what your students do when they're not under your jurisdiction. So it's just like, or not in your local parentis. So it's just
I'm allowed to have fun.
And like, also, if you want to build a digital brand, that's a legitimate way of making money, and you're like completely entitled to do that, which is what we're doing. But
I've heard a stat real quick. I heard a stat. It was like 11% of people in the U.S. I think, or like young people, are making like whatever, like most of their income from online media stuff.
Exactly.
11%.
Very
It was
true.
crazy. I didn't realize like
Completely
1 in 10
transform the economy and the market. Like it's an entirely new market. It's really sick.
It is.
But I didn't realize it was like, oh no, like 1 in 10. Like that's I think it's the most prominent
A lot
like
of people are working remotely as well. It's very, different.
Yeah.
It's good. It's decentralized.
Yeah. So, but I think so. To your point, I mean, and there's a great point. Is like, regardless of what you thought of politics, like even like a couple of years ago, I had someone who was giving advice on this to me, who was like a coach doing like a coaching thing. It was a long thing, but he was like, he would tell all the people he was like talking with on this call, and he'd be like, guys, he's like, the former president slept with like a prostitute and did all this stuff and all these things, and he's the president and he might get reelected. You're just like, people don't actually care that much, and if they do, like, people are much more like, if you look at even another example, like look at Gary Vee, he swears all the time, but then like all of the Super Bowl ads are like his company doing it, like Coca-Cola works with him. No one really cares.
That's
like
true.
Yeah, like unless you do some cancelable stuff or like you commit crimes, like outside of like you actually being a bad person, if you just like swear or you're like I don't think it's really that big of a deal. And I think people are getting more and more used to like, yeah, we're all people. We're
You're
real
right.
people.
So right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And yeah, because it is something like even like we mentioned LJ, and I had him on here. Go back, see episode 43. Anyways, but he was talking about the idea of like, yeah, it's like if I put myself out there, am I putting myself out there to be a target of people to try and attack me? And I said, if anything, you having a record of you talking and interacting with people for hours and hours and hours and hours, it's just like, this is who I am in my character. And so if someone makes allegations,
it only validates you.
This
There's
is
no harm. It only helps. Unless you are a dick.
Well, yeah.
Then
And you
it
can be a
shows.
dick and still not be like a criminal. Like if someone makes criminal allegations and like you're just like, I don't know, maybe a snob, like whatever thing you could like say about someone, and even like, anyways, but that's where I think, if anything, like the only thing that does protect you against people like attacking your character is having a bank of like, look, here's hundreds of hours of me talking on the internet and interacting with people, and you can just judge my character for yourself if it's a character assassination, and then if it's, but if imagine you don't have any of that, and you have nothing to show when someone attacks you, it's like, what's your rebuttal?
Yeah.
What is, like, now you are a target. Let's say you do something that you're really proud of. We're talking about like if people thinking about like, oh, well, what if people come at me or I get canceled, or like people like
or the fear of posting on the internet and putting yourself out there.
Yeah.
That's essentially it.
Yeah. I have no fear of that though.
Me neither. I don't have a fear of it because I'm a genuine human being, and I'm just a genuine
human being. Someone wants to cancel me for some like dumb shit like that, like I'm not.
I feel like my followers, I would think my followers would be pretty rational if they were following me. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't say rational, but I'd say cool.
Yeah, maybe cool. Same thing.
Why? I love you. It's all jokes. Okay, you seem really hurt.
I'm not hurt.
You're just looking at Goose. I think
she's just woke.
Do you see this video of me? Like, not video, but I always dance in front of bands. Like, I didn't even remember this, but like they literally made a newspaper thing about me on the front page because I was dancing in front of this jam band.
So cute.
And I was like 5 or something. I don't even know how old I am. But like they literally are like, Maya Landsberger's pure wedding around the park.
Landsberg could be dancing though.
Hundreds of residents turned out to a
no, but like you do be dancing. Like you do be dancing. Like that's a thing.
I do be dancing. You should check out those streams, man. I'm all over them.
Maya, like I think you should like start playing outside in the line and the Goose things. Like, you guys should just have, like, you guys should be the outdoor Goose band or just be interviewing everyone in line.
I know. We said we were going to do a band, but we don't know how to play anything.
Skip that then. Just interview people on the line.
We should interview people. We could do that. We could partly do that, but we could also just like play music and dance.
Yeah. Well,
I think
we
we
tried
should
to do
play
that in
music and
DC,
dance.
and they made us turn it off.
And get
It's
people.
interview
Yeah,
people.
we have to do it not in a
Interview.
private area, but we can figure it out. There's a reason why when we played music in other places in line.
Yeah.
Landsberg, do the interview people in the line, and you can edit that, and you've got tons of clips that go viral everywhere.
Yeah.
And we're promoting Goose because everything's happening where?
I think the
At
interview
Goose
people
shows.
lighting is good. I used to have those microphones, but I don't know where they went.
I'm going to get a tiny microphone, like the
Okay,
little.
we can interview people live. People really dig it. People love us.
Yeah. Because we already like made the name for ourselves. Like, oh, it's like the Mayas. Like the
It's
Mayas
the
are
Maya.
coming.
Have you guys ever thought about dyeing your hair?
No,
To
I already
match?
dyed my hair.
Oh, you could match.
My hair already was her hair naturally.
My hair has been that color too. I kind of would go back dark.
I like it. I really like dark on me, but I love your hair color. I think it's so pretty. But I like dark on me for sure. Not like black,
Yeah.
but like this
I
color.
like the dark on you.
Yeah, I like darker brown like my mom. Like, I feel like it's just better.
We're doing Mark's hair purple tomorrow.
No, we're
That's good.
absolutely
We're
not.
I love how you took that so seriously. We're absolutely not.
No, but I am dyeing my hair. That is happening.
Sounds good. All right, I gotta go get food before it closes.
Okay. Okay, well, real quick, as we send off, I'm gonna show a photo. Everyone, tell me if you can see this. See. Mark, wait, let me get a second. Oh, Mark, here we go. Let's see. I got this. Don't worry. Here we go. Oh, it's not working. Here we go. I'm working. I'm doing this. Landsberg, you're not looking.
Okay.
Here we go. We gotta see.
Oh
if
God,
What is it?
this is me
What is
as
it?
Ken for Halloween. That's what he's showing.
Oh, ew. That's so old.
You guys are.
That was so last Halloween.
You gotta see it. You gotta see it. No.
It's 'cause of the
Anyways,
God.
Mark, cut that out. Cut that. Okay. Well, thank you, Gooseburgers. Thank you, Mayas. We can't wait to see you tomorrow or later today on your Twitch on your first episode.
Follow Goosies on all platforms. We're gonna be talking. You're gonna be talking. We're gonna be vibing, creating the church, growing the family. Let's go.
Hell yeah, let's go.
All right.
Okay. Thanks, rockers, and rock on. Cue outro.